1, 2, 3, Rain, talk to me. We're gonna hit a beat and talk about my Eve. Everybody don't know what I say.
God.
I'm gonna do a beat.
Make it stop.
Rain?
It's
Why?
time to stop. Why did you?
Rock, paper, scissors, right? We don't want Eve to be as simple as shut the fuck up, Seto!
Floods of like memes, and these small gangers are like, we're the elite of the elite. Do not fuck with us. We will kill you. We are the best players ever. It's like, dude, I did your shit. I did it better than you did.
You know what this conversation is like? When I say not enough supers die in Delve, and people tell me, oh, look, there's a super died in Delve. So it's like, when
What
I'm
are
talking
you
about
even
the balance
talking
issue,
about? We were talking about fucking balance, not supers
Yeah.
dying in Delph.
Look,
Why
look,
does
look, look,
everything with you have to be about supers fucking dying in
Shut
Delph?
up! Shut up!
Christ!
It's an analogy, moron. It's an analogy. Okay?
You guys stop arguing. You act like a fucking married couple. Jesus Christ.
No, don't stop arguing.
It's an
Well, it
analogy.
is Trash Talk Tuesday.
I was like,
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome everybody. All of you, welcome to Trash Talk Tuesday. What? It was an ad. Anyways, welcome to the best live, unedited talk show about Eve, as confirmed by CCP Convict in the chat. Thank you, Convict, for your kind words, and we'll take it. Also known as the third best talk show about Eve that broadcasts Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My name's Redline. I'm joined by a cast of folks from all different reaches of the galaxy, including some people from Red Bomb, some people from NSH, RC, Freight Train, all sorts of places. And we've also got some goons on here. They were slightly outnumbering me earlier, but now everything's fine. And we've got
Goon Pat.
we've got some interesting stuff to talk about tonight. Rain is supposed to be here talking about the stuff that she did over the weekend, which, well, she and a lot of other people did over the weekend. So we'll save that for later. Sandrin, I'm told, wants to talk about the Pappy Silver ticket. Is that right, Sandrin? Is that what you want to talk about tonight?
I mean, I can.
Okay, perfect. Sandra wants to talk about the Pappy Silver ticket. Got some more Keepstars that are getting killed. It seems like it's a daily occurrence now, so kind of a boring topic, really. We also never got a chance to talk about the quality of life patch notes, which actually released today, including the new Battleship Minifire, which is what that module is called, and you will not tell me otherwise. And then we've also got a fight to talk about that happened over in the system. What was it, Maya? Was that right?
Yeah, it was Maya.
it was
Very recently,
Confirmed.
where the Alliance, formerly known as Snuffed Out, now known as got snuffed out. And those are our topics. And
They lost like one Titan, right?
well, and like another 120 billion-esque worth of shit. But it's
Like 6 faxes.
okay, sure.
They lost
whatever.
some faxes, some dreads.
Sorry,
some
I'm ruining the
Mayas.
story, but
Isn't
like,
that
I
what
looked
the
at the
power-
backstory.
You're
Why is-
shattering the glorious ride of the Wrecking Crew dreadnoughts, dude.
Don, why are you white knighting for Snuff? Is like a better question here.
I'm not.
Yeah, that's a pretty good question.
It's because Goons and Snuff are always friends. This is well known.
Even
no,
when they're
it's
not friends.
Fuck that. Fuck Verticio.
Oh,
Fuck that.
they're not
Oh,
friends.
Goon Pat. So, did you guys hear? I was there. Or are we still talking about that? Or
I mean, we can start there if you want. I'm totally fine with that. There was that one, and then there was also another fight in Sea City.
Secede.
Secede, sure.
Seaside.
Or some people
Seaside.
like saying seaside, which I think is
I say
an erroneous pronunciation. But anyway,
Seaside by the seashore.
Okay.
Anyway, we can start there. So I want to throw it to Thomas Lear, who hasn't been around in a while, to just chat a little bit about what happened earlier in Maya.
Oh, so Maya, well, RC formed up. It was a good time. We brought some dreads. Snuff tried to get Mimi with dock workers, and some dude jumped in, DD'd, and then got fucking dread bombed. There's just nothing else to it. Like, the dude was just stupid, jumped in, and died.
Perfect. And now to tell us the story, I'll throw it to Tara.
It's a little more complicated than that. When Jonas's Titan came in, he bounced. So one of our interceptors burned a ping to the Titan. We had to sign off to about 10 kilometers off Jonas's Titan. Had Hicks, got him pointed. It was that point. People were kind of hesitant. And I was in the FC chat screaming, "Go, go, 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 go," because it was a really good opportunity. Like, just fucking, sorry, language, go in deep. So we did. Went in hard, burned our subcaps like 120 kilometers to him, neuted him, was basically told everybody to pop their drugs, overheat, and just keep on him. And he popped. And then from there, I think Snuff were kind of shocked at that. We were kind of tenacious to respond to it and seize the opportunity, which is a good call on our FCs. So good on them and leadership for doing that, making the call. So, but yeah, popped him and held the field, went back several times, and yeah, so good fight, Snuff and GG.
You weren't supposed to say GG. You're supposed to talk trash. That's the whole point of the.
Good fuck, Snuff.
Hey, yo,
Fuck you.
GG means get good.
But I can't. I can't talk trash on them because they're actually really good pilots. So,
Okay.
And to be fair, we've had a number of engagements like Wrecking Crew has over the last couple of weeks. Specifically, like the last week, things have been getting pretty spicy, and we have been on the losing side of those battle reports sometimes.
Yeah,
So
but
this
now you're on the winning side.
Right, so it helps
you get
put
to
us
talk
back
trash.
into exactly. Fuck those guys.
Yeah, right.
I
So
believe
for
this
the
is
trash
first
talk, I
time
throw
Wrecking
it.
Crew has
I
ever
throw
won
it
a
to
fight.
Wheeler. Wheeler for the trash talk. Hit it.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. About what?
Oh my God, Wheeler! Jesus, you had one job.
You had one job. All you have to do is come on here and be toxic, and you just chose to come on here and be oblivious to what was actually happening.
I'm gonna be toxic. All right. I
Just
think it's
be toxic nicely. No slurs, obviously, because Twitch. Fuck you.
Oh, no.
No, I think that it's a cool fight for sure. It's good for the game, for one. But you probably could have done better without feeding that many dreads for one Titan frag. It's like what 185 builds, 120 something.
Oh, it was like 240. Like we were over 140 bill on them.
Yeah, but what's really interesting, like the price of fucking caps, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's you can't even like shit talk about like the ISK that you guys lost because like dreads are like fucking so expensive these days. They're not even worth it to even kill supers anymore. So it is kind of shitty. It's a weird time of the game.
Yeah, but it's interesting because just a handful of dreadnoughts now can take out like one or two Titans that are moving. So 5 dreads will take out even 3 because of the EHP nerfs and because of also the fax nerfs, and that's what came into play today.
I think we dropped 25 dreads on this Titan, and he died even with fax rips.
Yeah,
So,
you see, the grid was separate. Dock workers' dreads were already on the field. It was when Snuff came in with their supers and Titans at range that our caps came in. So
basically, how it was laid out was you have an Athenor in the middle. You had the subcap skirmish start on the undock of the Athenor, and then both sides escalated with initial cap scenes on that undock. And then Snuff chose to sign in their supers about 75 to 100 off that fight. And that's when the second grid developed, where the Titan then bounced another 75, 80 kilometers off that blob and then got dread bombed. So it was a rather well spread out fight. Had it been contained into a small area, I don't think we would have seen that big of a fight.
Oh, one of my good friends in Eve would like to point out that the Titan loss had large rigs on it, apparently.
Oof.
Yeah, fuck.
Legacy.
Well,
a lot more expensive.
To be fair, between Jonas and Trottle, they're kind of they don't shut up like on Reddit or in local or anything. So it's kind of nice to kind of boop them on the nose, or as Meeker would say, boop them on the snoot, and kind of make them think twice. The dog has teeth and can bite. So
it's a pretty good example of that hubris kind of thing that happens to every alliance once in a while, but could have gone worse for Snuff, could have gone better for RC in this circumstance, but kind of ended out being kind of equal in the end.
Yeah, for those who don't know, back when Supers and Titans first came out, there were no capital rigs, so you large rigged everything. So that Titan was probably close to 10 years old, 10 to 12 years old, something like that, I think.
Yeah, very, very old.
Wait, can we explain how things came out evenly in the end? They didn't come out evenly. We were up quite a bit on.
We were up 140 billion. Yeah.
Yeah, like we were 63% Iska fish in a very large fight. So like it's good for RC. Like yay RC, go RC, woo. does it hurt losing dreads now? Apparently, but I don't know, dude. Like, fucking, I guess we'll salvage the shit out of those wrecks and hopefully replace some shit.
Yeah,
There's a difference between the Titan dying and the Dreads dying because it's harder to build the Titan versus however many Dreads they lost.
It's harder to
yeah.
get large rigs onto a Titan now too.
Yeah, I hear that might be a little difficult.
Stuff just can't go to
It's very
GSF
difficult.
and say, "Hey, we need to buy another avatar to replace one." Can't do that anymore.
You
Sorry.
act like we gave them avatars.
Dude,
not to
Verticio
when
mention-
stuff
stole
was
them all.
in the CF, when stuff was in the Imperium, they bought like 80 Titans.
Well,
from me.
yeah,
Sure.
Not
because
to mention,
someone made a poor decision of being their friend.
Imagine Don Rhea telling Thomas Lear about what the Imperium did in the
Thomas
in the
Pratt
behind
actually
the
been
channel,
involved with anybody
behind the
outside of fucking
scenes
Liberty Channel.
command stuff. No, Thomas did main fleet stuff like twice.
You didn't want
a
to interact
month.
with anybody if they weren't in dog fort. I don't want to hear it.
I mean,
Excuse me, I was in AMOC for a long
How
time.
dare
before I was
you.
in Dog
that
Fort.
is true. That is true.
And I mean, ask
was
any
gonna-
person in DexWad how much I interacted, and it was a lot till I just stopped doing stuff because he did become fun, and then he became fun again. Shit happens. It's ebb and flow.
So
Oh,
Dawn
I-
is white knighting for Snuff and then going ham on former goons.
Yeah.
Thomas is a good man.
Well, I was going to say really quickly that the Apostles, those are difficult to replace. So they didn't have a backup cache to come in a second wave type scenario, which is interesting. So
Well, I mean, it is
They-
Snuff
they didn't
USDC
have
pretty
it?
much, right?
Or they didn't bring it.
They didn't bring it.
Yeah.
If they have it, they didn't bring it.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. But right now, the battle report, if you haven't clicked on it in chat, looks like 237 lost by Snuff, 146 lost by RC and allies.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't look at the final, to be fair. I just think, speaking from experience here, the dreads are being 5 bill these days is so fucked. You really have to factor that in when you feed 80 of them or whatever.
Well, RC has a robust ship replacement program, so yay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, Wally wants in. You're gonna trust that?
Oh
I'm-
god.
It's Wally.
I'm looking at him in the channel there, and I'm
Are you licking your lips?
I'm
oh
thinking,
my goodness, is it the
I
man
don't trust
himself?
him.
Is it Mr. Fleet Hanger Snatcher himself? Dude,
who's
he
Mr. Fleet Hanger Snatcher?
Wally Marcy.
Wally.
Freaking dude, he pissed off headliners so bad. on that.
Wally,
Hi,
why
Wally.
are you Mr. Fleet Snatcher? Explain this story.
Explain how you pissed off headliners so bad on the move up
What? Oh, wait, what move up?
with PL Titans. Remember you hitched a ride with us with NC, and PL dummies had their fleet hangers open.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
people are talking about oh man, some people have their ship maintenance bays open, and someone in our fleet, definitely not NSH, went ahead and just started taking nesters from every super nearby. And so I was trying to warn people, hey, you guys might want to check your pussy pouches. And then headliners started really freaking out, saying mean things, which is fair, I guess.
That's very
Dude, just-
honorable of you, Wally, to let them know.
That's a
Headliners.
Verticio plan, but
Headliner's probably hearing this oh boy.
Is that all it was?
He's a
There's
changed
no,
man. Wally's
there's
got a
no,
therapy.
Rando story. It's just people were stealing from fleet hangers. And...
Well, he blamed me, and then he started cussing me out in front of everyone, and then calling me a
Typical.
squirt lord.
Yeah, typical headliner,
It wasn't undeserved. However, I wasn't stealing, so
That's good. I'm glad to hear that you weren't stealing. That's good, Wally. That's good. So did you have something you wanted to come on and say, or are you just gonna join the general chit chatting?
I'm just gonna chill and listen.
Sweet, that's tight. Well, we're
gonna hear
talking.
kids screaming in the background like usual.
We're
They're on the other side of the U.S. right now.
we're currently talking about the snuffed out business in Maya. So what happened in Secede?
Snuffed out, dropped the fort as are on the Siege Green Keepstar grid. Fort died, and we might have fed some materials.
We might have,
some
yeah.
Materials.
Might have.
Let's get a more in-depth breakdown of that fight.
Yeah.
if you
How
will.
many
I would
materials
call it
exactly did you feed?
Metric shit ton.
What
Yeah, we
caused
had fucking
the-
bombs.
What's the
Correct.
main difference?
I believe Stuff brought 160 carriers is what they brought.
Yeah, we were very outnumbered on the SS4 for sure. for sure we were outnumbered on that.
Did they actually have a proper subcap fleet, or they only have like the rollers and subs?
It was just the carriers and some subs, but yeah.
Yeah, so they had they basically had just a big carrier blob defending
They,
the port.
They volleyed my Balgorn through like half armor, and I have 450,000 EHP, like it's pimped to shit. And I almost got volleyed myself. I was like, "Oh crap!"
Interestingly, they were working with Laserhawks and HK, which is fun. So they had pretty good numbers. We outnumbered them quite a bit. We killed the fort, which was, I guess, important, so we can claim the objective. But we did end up feeding quite a few dreads. It was amazing for my corp kill board, though, so I thank everyone for their sacrifices.
Wait, we fed dreads? I thought it was just max. Did I miss
Yeah,
something?
it was mostly subs. Yeah, it was subs.
Sorry. What did I say? What did I say?
I thought you said dreads. I was like, wait, what? I
no,
Max,
Macarios.
Oh, there we go.
Would have been a lot more interesting if you'd have fed dreads.
No, we didn't. They ended up feeding a few
Oh
cats
shit!
at the end. I wasn't there, but
Yep, that's Rain. That's our friend Rain. She's been streaming on the CCP channel.
Oh.
Hi, Rain and
Alright.
Rain's viewers. Welcome to Trash Talk
Hi.
Tuesday.
Hello, Rain's viewers.
Millie slipped in here a couple minutes ago.
You did. Hey, Billy,
Nice
how's
and
it going?
quiet like.
You sneaky devil.
Good evening, guys.
Hi, Billy.
Oh, there's an interesting question in the chat. Will Snuff cleanse all of Losec now?
No.
Snuff has power?
What is Snuff actually doing like right now? They're besides like fucking with random small groups that can't really
I
most of
believe
the
they
time
have
can't
proposed
really
it
fight
as a
back.
crusade, so we'll see.
I
how
believe
that
they're trying to have like some crusade against Keepstars or some bullshit.
They claimed they were. Some guy came on like this channel or talking stations and said they were gonna like come after our Keepstar and all this mess. And
That was on this show, actually. But also, like, it just kind of seems like they're desperate cries for like, we need content, and so they're going around,
sounds very familiar coming from you.
Mm.
Just doing it for content, bro. That's why I'm bashing your Keepstar.
I mean,
Keepstar bashes bring the content. What
to
can I
be
say?
to be fair, I mean that's a
To
good
be
point.
fair.
To be fair, so there we go. So see, my narratives have finally aligned and matched up, so that's good. Keeping things on point, I suppose. But anyway, yeah, I think they're just looking for content and trying to get it by provoking fights, dropping Fortizars and staging systems, and the old usual shit. And we've been getting a lot of good fights, and I'm actually quite me and my corp and my alliance and my group of boys in RC have been getting quite a few good things, good fights, and I think it's great.
Yeah, I'm actually very off the spin wagon for say it's nice to see people deploying and actually doing stuff. The war in the South as big and important as you should say has just sucked all the content out of the game. Like everything is focused on the South and nothing else was really happening. So it's kind of nice to see something else happening.
Well, I don't think it sucked all the content out. I think it's just moved it over to, the South instead of everywhere else.
well, when you blew like 75% of Eve in this grand crusade against the evil goon, that's kind of what happens. Your hunting grounds dry up, and you can't kill guys that crab next door to you. It's just kind of what happens. So
Happy blew the half of the game that RC didn't, I guess.
yeah, well.
I don't understand what's so evil about Goonswarm. Maybe somebody can explain it. One of you fucking
There's nothing evil about them. You just hate them.
It's because Matani lives in a tower in Orthanc.
Well, like historically, the goons have had some really like offside, like spicy ass memes about people's IRLs and all kinds of other shit, just historically. So I mean, I don't know. Generally, with old players, there happens to be that dislike. If you're not in Goonswarm itself, people tend to dislike old goon people.
You think it may be a little bit of jealousy?
I don't know, dude. I mean, I'm
Billy's in here, so we can ask Billy.
It's not jealousy. I don't dislike goons necessarily, but at the same time, it's like I understand why there's a whole bunch of people who do. At the same time, it's like you guys have been, very successful using the Empire mechanics in the last like 4 years or whatever it's been.
I mean,
and I think you guys deserve props for that. Like you guys are playing a good game.
I say, like, unless you're Sir Mole himself, you have nothing to really complain about. It's just part of the game. You can blame CCP for Citadels.
Lawyer bad. Re.
I just saw personally, like, the reason I'm not a super fan of them anymore is I just saw the mentality shift so hard in the 5 years I was in there. It went from, playing to the game to, wanting to rule the game and dictate the game. And I'm just like, yeah, this isn't what I signed up for. I can't speak for Billy, but, we each had our reasons why we left originally.
We're talking to survivors here, guys.
Well, when I left and what they became are different things, although certainly I guess I kind of left it to a degree at time when goons were trying a different thing and trying to really.
Well, you got fired for toxicity, didn't you?
No.
I believe you left right before Viceroy program, didn't you?
No, I actually I don't. Yes, that's correct. Actually, I did leave before Viceroy. I left like late 2014, late 2015, something like that. Somewhere in 2014, 2015 era. I'm trying to think. It would have been, so I was there. It would have been mid 2015, I guess. I think that's right.
Yeah,
What's
that's
the
a long
story
time.
behind that? Anyways, why did you leave, man?
So if there's actually my exit interview thread on Reddit. If you go back about 4 months, but basically I left. I took a period off while I was doing some training. I was gone for about 6 months.
Well, you're in the military too, aren't you?
Yeah. So.
Canadian military?
Yep. So I was gone for a bit. I came back. Part of the time, when I came back, I had all of my kind of roles like pulled, and I was like, I was definitely perturbed at that, to say the least. And then I was like, all right, well, what do I got to do to get my roles back? And to give me like, the shit list of things to do. And I was like, all right, cool. So I did those. But I was definitely, and I got the roles back. But I was definitely annoyed at certain elements of that and the attitude and some of the people. And then later on, this was just kind of the first hint of kind of the Kickstarter stuff and the monetization push, and I just wasn't having it. So I kind of bowed out at that point.
What
So
what was the
I didn't
monetization push?
It
Not
was like the
familiar with that.
Kickstarter and some other stuff.
There was the Kickstarter, then there was a couple video game deals and the INN stuff, and just basically
Oh,
it
the
was,
Amazon thing?
Yeah, it was basically the Imperium turned in the money making empire for a couple of people, which you know what, that's all fine and dandy if they want to make money off Internet Spaceship Games, but like don't try to dictate the rest of us do the same.
Anyway, so like I left quietly, right? I still had good terms with Goons Forum, and I was just like, all right, I'm heading out, boys, have a good time, and obviously I joined Test, a few days later and started putting their shit together bit by bit, for the next 4 years of my fucking life.
You really built Test into. I remember when you first joined, and a couple of us, were like, oh, it's not going to go anywhere, and you really did it. You did a fucking awesome job. Like it was awesome watching Test grow.
Well, it
from the
wasn't
outside.
me. It was ProGod and Sapo and Dran, and there's a team
True.
of people. Like I get pushed up to the front lately, but I'm just one guy.
Everybody has a hand in it. Yeah, very true.
Villy, can I ask you a question? Did PGL? I think PGL was there before you, right? Joined Tests.
No.
Oh, were you there first, and then PGL showed up?
I was there 3 to 4 months before PGL, I think.
Gotcha. Okay, never mind. I had my facts mixed up.
So that's an interesting story, but it doesn't explain like the fucking vehement hatred that you have for Goon Swarm and why you've declared that you want them or want us eradicated from New Eden.
That's because those aren't things I want.
Well,
those are straw men built to.
No,
built
you
to.
and Piggles said that was your fucking victory conditions.
So
wasn't it?
those are things that I want. I would love nothing more than for goons to be eradicated from the game. And I'll tell you why. So if you want me to tell you why, I'll tell you why. It's very simple. It's because I feel like goons have gotten way too big for their own good. Sure, they only manage 4 regions, well, a
Constellation.
constellation in a region now, but at the time of their power, them being able to go around and glass regions with no contest is completely terrible for the game. The fact that it has taken the entire rest of the large nullsec groups coming together, with the exception of people in the north and the east, the fact that it's taken all of us to come together to put a dent in the armor that is the Imperium is why the Imperium needs to go. Not only
Okay.
that, but your culture is
So what happens
garbage.
when NCPLPH own almost the entire North? Is that a problem? Are you guys going to break up?
CPLPH.
Oh, wait a second.
They're
Wait a
all
second. Our
land.
culture is garbage. So, what's the differences between our culture and your culture?
It's displayed every week on the Meta Show.
Exactly. It's displayed
Is
every
it?
week on the Meta Show. It's literally it's you versus everybody else. If you're not with the Imperium, then you're a vicious puppy and you're less than subhuman. And it's displayed every single week. Just the amount of, like, I want to say the lack of shit, I don't even know the word to use. Just like how
Integrity?
come on, come up with a word for me.
Replace Pubby
Humanity?
with Toxic Goon, and you just fucking basically you just became what the Meta Show is saying every week.
But why would I do that though?
That's what you're doing.
I don't want this show
That's
to
what
be
this
like
show
the Meta
is,
shows
man.
every week. What are you talking about? That's what this show is.
Well,
You
this
said-
isn't like we're pushing
you
a
said that you
specific
watched
narrative for
the
a specific
show.
alliance.
You came in here and you said that you watched the show, so you know what the show is about, and you think it's just a shit on goons hour? Is that what you thought it was?
Sounds
This is
like
just
a lot
typical,
of
right?
it
You want
is.
to come in and you pick a fight. The culture is a culture of confrontation, of ridicule, of one-upmanship, of I'm better than you are, and I'm going to put you down.
That's
It's
the
a
same thing.
culture of destruction instead of construction. You guys are that is your culture, and when you're not like that, you can't see through your own optics that other people have a problem with that, because we're just being us, man.
Yeah,
it's just
so
fun. It's just fun.
Yeah, but
That's
you're vilifying a culture that you're not a part of.
Well, to be fair, I think
Well, to be fair, I've been part of cultures like that
Yeah.
in the past, which is why I do know about them, and I don't need to be a part of them anymore to know how they run or why they're bad.
There's a number of us in this loot room that were goons, but have since left because of the toxicity that exists in the GSF environment.
Now, to be fair though, like I'm one of those people, like I don't really give a shit about your culture, like it's whatever. For me, it's the literal fact though that it requires so many fucking people just to put you guys down. It is actually a really kind of big
So-
problem for the game just generally. And like you guys did go around and piss everybody off and you glass regions, and like, so what do you expect? Like, I don't.
Okay, but what happens now with PH, who's almost the same size as us?
We're gonna fight them when the war's over.
No,
What do you
you're
mean?
not.
What do you mean? What happens? What
I
happens
don't
with
believe
them?
a fucking one of you
We
ever
were
attack
fighting
each
them.
other.
We
So
were
when
fighting
was the
them.
last time?
I
When was the
don't
last
believe
time?
it.
No, wait. When
When
was the last time Pandemic Horde went around and glassed a region by themselves?
Fair
By
enough.
themselves.
They couldn't.
You're blinded.
Exactly. That's the point.
Because they needed NCPL to guide them, and you guys will never break off from it.
And we never glassed a region like that. We went and fought GOTG, but that was pretty even until I think. Actually, no,
You guys
that was
on
pretty
a,
even.
a puppy who bought you 6 months of relaxing and decided that it
That was
a
with them, not
fucking
with
betrayal.
us. It's not
By the
that
way-
hard to read the fucking agreement.
By the way, I don't know if PH needs NC or whoever to guide them. Like they weren't
Yeah, they do.
always. I mean,
Yeah,
they weren't.
yeah,
they
they
weren't.
do.
I mean, fine, but they weren't always part of PanFam, and they were doing just fine on their own.
Yeah, Horde and NC weren't blue until what was it? A couple of years ago, to 2018.
Yeah, way after
3 years ago?
X47. Yeah,
Horde has
and
grown up quite a lot, and this war is going to be an evolution for so many different groups, and it's going to, at the end of it, not when, necessarily the week after 1DQ falls, but, 6 months down the line, I think you'll see the ramifications in the political atmosphere of EVE for literally probably the next decade.
There is a major shift going on right now in EVE Online. It's no longer, after this war, it's no longer going to be your GSF versus your hordes, or sorry, excuse me, GSF versus NCPL. It is now shifting into a new era where it's Test, it's Horde, it's RC, it's Fraternity that are going to be the big alliances now.
Stop making sense. Then there's no trash talk.
Out with the old, in with the new.
So this is goon genocide, is what you're saying. So there's going to be no such
Let's
thing.
let's be clear, Greg. So
It's not
I'll
agenda,
talk about
it's
this.
a
So the straw man post you guys like to bring up about a war of quote unquote extermination isn't a thing. Everybody knows that at the end of this, goons are still going to be strong, right? Like nobody's under any illusion that we're going to break you down and you're going to be a 500-member alliance living in high
Not
sec.
what you guys talk
Really,
about.
really, stop being a dick and claiming that straw man was built by the Imperium, because it was not. It was you being quoted on an article.
Right,
actually.
but the context of that quote is lost because when I was having that conversation, I was saying, this is going to be a war to the death, a war where we're going to fight right to the end for both sides, loser, it's going to be a war of extermination. The implication of that conversation, the implication of those words were more that they were going to exterminate us or we were going to exterminate them. One of us was going to die at the end of it to a degree, right? Like that's the level of fight that we were in. Not that like I'm out there to like eradicate you to the man, because I know that's not possible. I literally made sure to be very clear about that it's just not something that's possible in EVE.
And
but
again,
it's the straw man that is held up so much every time.
But you guys have actually used it internally in your own rallying of your troops, and it was
Show
also...
me the time I ever said the word "we're going to exterminate the goons."
No, I'm pretty sure that it was Pickles that actually quoted that in
But
one of
that's
the
not
talks.
Billy.
No, but the point is that if you use it in your messaging internally and the Imperium misquotes it externally for propaganda reasons, then you're both being dickish about it, and you're both using strawmans based on out of context.
But I didn't use it out of context. In that interview, the next paragraph, what does it say?
Billy knows this isn't possible.
Yes, it literally says, but Villy acknowledges this is not possible. Will we settle for damaging Mittani's faction and weakening their power or something? Like that's the realistic goals here, right? Because at the end of the day, there's a massive difference between what people would like to see happen and what people expect to see happen or know can be reasonably made to happen within the video game of EVE Online.
Can I ask you a question?
And the fact that you understand this and that you also said this in the interview does not change the fact that a lot of your line members are actually using this as the goal of the war.
And you're
what's wrong with
too?
Can I just ask though, what's wrong with that actually? Like, what are we arguing about here? Is it the morality of those words, or is it just like the fact
that people extend the morality of the words to mean exterminate as in kill or make quit the game versus just beat them in the game?
Right. I mean,
and that's what's happening in Twitch
context,
chat right now.
I guess.
Isn't that what
but
exterminate means?
But what's wrong
in
with
the
that?
context of a video game? No. This is a video game. I want to exterminate you in a video game. You know what that means? I want to beat you. I want to win my match of League of Legends. Let's go exterminate. Oh, shit, what's a League of Legends champion? Janna.
Garen.
Like,
Jim.
yeah. Let's go exterminate Garen and Janna. Like, that's what it means. This isn't like some like top level like genocidal plan here. It's just one word that means defeat your enemy. That's different from another word.
I completely agree.
Yeah. Hey, over the weekend, didn't Rain do some pretty awesome fucking stuff for charity?
Oh no, you opened up this can of worms. Now you get to sit in it for a little while.
Trying to take the back door out, huh?
I'll play if you want. Fuck, it doesn't matter.
I will say the one thing I've noticed, because I remember when I started like 7 years ago or whatever, and like that was when I saw a lot of groups leave the game from the Sov, like the New Ages Sov, and that was when people were posting all these forum posts and like, hey guys, we're leaving the game. And every time someone posts that, people are like, damn dude, this sucks, sorry to see such legends go, etc., etc. And I remember friend groups getting torn up about it. And it's always really weird to me when people talk about making others quit the game, because I think maybe besides like a handful of a few players, most people don't want other people to quit the game, right? Like, we're all sitting in here, and yeah, we may be enemies and shoot each other in the game, but if one of you was like, hey, I'm quitting the game, it would just suck for the game in general. And not just if you quit the game, but then if your entire group leaves, like, that's a detriment to everyone in the game, no matter what you do. Less people
sure.
playing EVE Online is worse for the game overall, except for, I will say, a few exceptions of just like whether they're like really shitty people or somebody who's like, you know, hacking or botting or something. Like those people can get kicked the fuck out.
I'm
For
gonna
the
summon
most part,
Jeremy with those words.
Well, the thing is that 98% of the people in test would fit in perfectly fine in goons, and 90% of the people in goons would fit in perfectly fine in test. Like
I think there's a lot of goons that would disagree with you wholeheartedly.
I can. They're fine to disagree, but that doesn't mean I'm wrong.
Well, at the end of the day, like, so if you look at the broader picture, like, we're all relatively within a demographic of people. We're all a bunch of nerds who happen to be roughly the same age or, you know, thereabouts, and some are younger and some are older. And we happen to have similar jobs and interests and similar things that we do. So at the end of the day, like, I don't think anyone wants to see people leave the game. What probably the goal of a war generally is at least, you know, if the Alliance fail cascades, that's fucking awesome. Or at least, you know, gets reduced to a point where it is no longer in the position to do the things that you're fighting the war for in the first place.
So that does bring up an interesting question, and I saw it in the chat. Is that Matani's goal to get others to quit the game? And I kind of feel like it follows the same vein. Like, you guys want to exterminate Test wants to exterminate you. So it's the same shit, just painted differently, is it not?
I think the problem with Matani is that his goal is not to play the game as much; it is to make money off the game in those who play the game.
Wow,
And
this
that's
whole
a lot of
story.
people
Oh, I don't know about
are-
that, dude.
How many Illuminati minis
Never
I
asked me
spread?
for any fucking money.
Do you really think
What's the
that Eve makes
Goonswarm-
him that type of money that he can do and have the lifestyle he has?
So
You really
Caleb,
think
I
that's
know
worth
it does not, but I also know there was a serious drive for it to do so.
That was
That
to
drive
make
failed.
but that was to make the actual website a more professional environment where he could actually pay the people for the work that they do. That has nothing to do with his personal wallet. Let's be fair here.
I like Caleb. I don't want to bring up stuff. I like this is not stuff for stream. Like, but
Well, I'm gonna redirect here. Isn't the whole Goonswarm motto, we don't want to ruin the game, we want to ruin your game?
That's an
No, it hasn't been our motto for like 5.5 years.
It's still like a mentality among at least
It's
some of your
Darius
older.
Johnson's mentality, who hasn't been in Goonswarm for years. Let it go.
Then what is the Goonswarm mentality now, Don?
Best possible friend, worst possible enemy.
The goon swarm mentality. If you prick us, do we not?
Very good.
Apparently you turn into robots.
If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not be revenged?
Just
That'd be really cool if your microphone worked that entire time. I'm sure you had.
Are you going to do some Yates next?
Yeah, no, sorry, that was
So
from
this was
Merchant
the
of Venice.
speech, right?
Huh?
Was that the speech that you were giving? Is that correct?
Yeah,
No,
it
he
was.
was
It was
quoting-
just.
oh.
It was from Merchant of Venice, Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice.
Oh, I see. I don't understand. I'm sorry. I'm not very well educated. I'm public schooled, so you'll have to understand.
I was public
I,
schooled.
I went to public school too, but it was Canadian public school. So.
Oh, I
Same,
can
dude.
tell. Oof.
We're all Shakespeare'd out.
So, since someone just mentioned best possible friend, can we talk about how the Imperium has been treating our friends, our old friends, Siberian Squad, since they have recently defected? Because it's not going too hot for them. They've already been chased out of Quirius, and now they've just shown up in Fountain, and the staging fort is already in hold time without any significant defense. How's that best possible friend? I want to know.
Valued allies.
Hard to get there from 1DQ.
That's the thing, is I heard so many times in the back channels of GSF, oh, well, our allies suck. Oh, our allies don't matter. So yeah, you could claim that it's best possible friend, worst possible enemy. You guys definitely try to do the worst possible enemy part, but you're not best fucking friends. There's a laundry list of examples to prove that.
I can also give a laundry list of examples of stuff that I know about that we did to support all of our allies during this god-awful war.
So what's happening with Siberian Squads? Because they're about to
Or
get kicked out for the
initiative.
second time, and you've
Yeah,
done
let's talk
nothing.
about the dreads you guys promised to initiative at the start of the war that never ended up making it to Fountain. Like,
When, where, who?
I think you said at the beginning of the war.
You gotta break.
you know,
few
when
eggs and make an
initiative,
omelet.
when initiative still held Fountain, and you guys promised to bring them dreads to support them, and they just
And
never
then-
showed up.
And then they said that they didn't want them.
Yes, I'm sure they just wanted to lose all of their fucking
did
home
say
space.
that.
They
didn't
did.
want
Are
the-
you
Okay,
fucking
guys.
Are you
What they
serious?
say publicly here is so different from what
How-
like Asher and
how are
fucking
they
Shines
gonna
were literally gonna
against-
fucking kill each other. They were so fucking mad at each other.
No, they weren't. I've talked to Shines as well. They're happy-go-lucky at where they're at. I think they're going to be moving soon.
Yes, 8 months later, things are better. Like, but oh,
Initiative moving to catch will be awesome.
Oh god, yeah.
I can't wait for them to witness the full wrath of Simple Farmers. That shit's gonna be hilarious.
Then Red Squadron's moving into Impasse, whatever it is. Not Red Squad. Red
I fucking
Alliance.
love Simple Farmers, dudes. They're great.
Name one thing they've done.
Simple
They include
Farmers.
a bunch of antiplexes in catch.
Wait,
Fair enough.
and it's moving to catch?
They sure make it
Yeah.
look like they are.
I thought you
Oh.
talk to them all the time, Don. You should know this.
I mean, it's gonna make it easy for content. Like it's
It's
like
a good
3
region for
antiplexes.
content. It's just a shit region for everything else.
Someone tell them to try moving to a region that matters to the war. Like
I mean, I'm interested what happens.
the reality is
How?
that Initiative's done a pretty significant job in the East, and I think trying to downplay the effect they've had, even if it's been entirely reliant on others to kind of push them over the edge kind of thing, is kind of an underplay. They've made they helped Dreadbomb and Deepwater finish off Amencia. They were kind of the main push in catch when combined with everybody else. And obviously right now they're in impasse and they're doing work. Like
Hashtag no collusion.
Hashtag bullshit.com.
I love how you came in specifically to tell us one time, look, I'm shooting initiative stuff. I thought that was cute.
I know. It's like when a
It was
cat
cute.
brings back like a mouse or something. You're
Or
like,
a
hey,
leaf.
Billy,
You're
look,
like, look,
Billy,
I got
Billy,
it.
look at what we did. Isn't it great?
Are you happy?
What
It was
I'm
cute.
interested in is
I don't care.
post-war. If Initiative and Goonswarm are disjointed, how is Goons will be fine, but how is Initiative gonna like make it with Legacy basically
We're
breathing
not
down their neck?
disjointed at all.
Initiative will be
Legacy
quite
are
okay. I'm
fine.
pretty sure.
Initiative will not be okay. Initiative
Nah,
is
if
going to
they-
get thrashed.
If Init hasn't fixed their money issues, then they're gonna get thrashed.
What
They have
money
full
issues?
SRP now. What are you talking about?
They, for a long time,
Now.
have had massive money issues.
They're a PvP alliance, and they have, they had to cut
Yes,
the
and PvP
damage
alliances
there.
don't survive very long when they often have to
PvP
reduce their
alliance-
SRP to 25%.
And then that
in
was for like a
scarcity.
month and a half, and now they're back at over 100% SRP.
Don,
What
do
are
you know
talking
what-
other alliances needed to do that, Don? No
Don,
other
do you know?
alliance.
Don, do you
No
know
other
why that
alliance
happened?
was doing the wood chipper like they did.
Don, do you know why that happened? Why they got to put their SRP
Please.
back?
Please tell me why.
I want you to.
Your guys are dropping in your stations as they mow through them and keep finding abandoned structures.
Is that your theory, or?
I know it helps them.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It helps them. I have
You
no
seem
doubt.
like you have an answer, so go ahead and say it.
It's your war bonds.
Okay. So wait. You say we're not helping them, so now we are.
Did
to
I
help
say that
them
you
out?
weren't helping them?
People in here were saying that we have abandoned them and that we're not giving them
No,
anything.
really.
I'm just saying, keep.
Here's the technicality police.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, you're like, listen, there's degrees of help, obviously, but you guys pushed a massive amount of money into Initiative a couple months ago between Titan SRP, and all of a sudden all their other SRP was fine too, right? And
we
there's
helped
nothing
them
wrong with that.
with money.
But it does. There's no,
give
like,
them
that's a good thing.
It's
Initiative's an
bill.
important part of
We
the
didn't
Imperium
give them
military
dreadnoughts.
force.
But really, it's just the bill coming home, right? It's like the amount that they sacrificed to the wood chipper was massive. So the fact that there was liquidity problems, that just makes sense. That when you then don't have a liquidity problem, then you actually give them the value that they're owed.
Billy, are you covering Braves SRP right now?
Here's the thing.
No, I'm not.
Init had liquidity problems in 2018
Well,
when the fucking minerals were plentiful.
And didn't they have renters in 2018 too?
I can't attest to how good their finance
Yes.
team is. I have never talked to
Yeah,
anyone.
so actually, because he had the gall to comment on it, Pando on Reddit earlier today called out AOM for botting when there was more botting going on in Fountain than there was in Omist, and I was fucking not impressed with that shit.
And that's kind of going back to the finance team. That's kind of Ina's problem. They never had a finance team. Or if they did, it's like one dude who doesn't do dick.
That's possible. But we've been helping them with whatever they need as much as we can. You know, there are certain limitations to what we can do in the moment every fucking week.
Also, they don't
It's
really
kind of like we're
they don't
fighting
need a finance team, right? When they
Every alliance needs a finance team. Like, I
Well,
don't
not-
care what you say. My corp has a bigger finance team than some alliances. Like, you need a finance team, or you're going to be broke.
You guys have a finance team?
It's 2 people, but it's bigger than certain
Caleb,
alliances I know.
You did miss my point though, which was that an infusion of cash does not solve, reoccurring revenue issues.
But the
when
point
your
is that
expenses outweigh your revenues, yes, an infusion of cash will solve all your problems for a little bit of time. But the Imperium War bonds, if that's your way to stay healthy as an alliance, that's not going to work out well.
But why would you? Okay, seriously, if I had a sizable corp, still I don't. But if I did, and I was living in Imperium space, being part of the Imperium, I wouldn't really bother that much with doing massive finances because I would basically just outsource that stuff. And
Well, you'd be evacuating right now, right?
yeah, I'd be back in high sec.
Or do you mean
doing
in
high sec
2018?
I was actually further back, but that's beside the point. My point is that if you are under the Imperium umbrella, there's a lot of things that you can kind of outsource to other organizations. And Init was never known for being good at making money. They're pretty much similar to Brave in that sense. Like, money making is not really their skill set.
Even Brave has a finance team.
I mean,
Do
Imperium's
they,
outsourcing
though?
a lot to Ermelin right now, so I don't know how much you want to brag about that.
I'm not really good at this strategy stuff, but like, when are you guys gonna push us out of 1DQ?
So we're
Oh,
currently
there's
clearing
comments.
every structure in Delve and Aquarius that you guys own, aside from the 1DQ constellation, and then we will turn our full focus to 1DQ constellation.
Billy, I've got the strategy to take 1DQ.
Oh yeah,
Let's see
Don
if
was
you guys
talking
play
about
it.
this
Go,
earlier.
go,
I
Don.
figured
We
it out
need-
today.
we wanna
No,
hear it.
because I don't want to get. I want to see what Billy comes up with. But I have thought of a strategy that I'm pretty sure would work. So we'll
What
see
is
if you
it?
do. No, I'm not going to say.
No,
I'm just
Don,
saying
you
that
go first. Come on.
No, I'm saying I've got it locked down. We'll see if it works.
What if you paid some director with access a lot of ISK to flippy flip the Keepstars?
You told him.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
If you think you could find a GSF director that high up to flip a Keepstar, good luck.
I'm just saying, you guys are looking for a strategy. I'm like, well, here's Hail
Well,
Mary, boys.
true story. True story. Because this was like, I'm 99% sure a meme attempt. It was offered to us, but they wanted the money up front. And we were like, I'll use a third party. We'll do it, but they wouldn't go for it. I'll show you the log to prove it, Thomas. You want?
But again,
Sure,
Vinny,
I'll always read them.
you should be able to actually claim that this is actually not a possible scenario because the security in that level right now is bonkers. There is no way that would ever happen.
It's not a It's not a probable scenario. Everything is possible, Caleb. Come on. If you guys overheat your belief in your heart, dude.
Something you gotta understand about that high level of GSF is they are all like IRL BFFs, love each other forever.
That was kind of my point, that you would have to dislodge very, very strong and old real life friendships
That shit happens
to get that access.
It's not impossible.
So put 20 grand. Put 20 grand in front of somebody. That's kind of how it works, right?
True.
Is that some frat money
And half of them
reference?
work together, so it might.
That's 2 trill, right? So it's not that much. Like,
But if you're a toxic goon, how do you have and maintain fucking real life friendships?
You really
nobody
think
said
someone...
that. Nobody
different than a game.
Nobody has said that goons can't maintain friendships. Like, that's never been a thing. Like, it's just a pure straw man.
I've been a toxic piece of shit in this game, like, before, and I've had plenty of friends for years. Like, you're just not toxic to your friends, dude.
But seriously, guys, 2 trillion? That's like nothing to the people that have control of these things. It's like, it's a joke.
Yes, but $20,000 is not 2 trillion. It is already legally in a usable form. It will not just disappear one day. That value is there.
That's also against terms of service, so.
Tess is gonna bring a goon director some value.
The point is that the number was ridiculous. You can't even buy Dawn for 2 trillion.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Dude, I'll do anything you want for 2 chill, dude.
I'm just saying,
Anything.
I have right, but it may not last long. It may be a rental program, not a permanent.
Look, yeah, I want you to 1v1 Rocket at the Sun, and I'll give you 2 trillion.
Rocket X?
Yes.
Okay. Like I just have to 1v1 Rocket X
and
at the
beat
Sun.
him. And beat him.
All right. I mean,
Just
I'll give it a fucking shot for 2 trill. Like, why the fuck not?
Just DM Rocket and be like, yo, I'll give you 1 trill if you let me beat you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That was what.
Such a
Thanks,
dumb
Ray.
gamble.
Thanks for
Actually,
fucking up my
no.
strategy, Ray. God damn it. I was like, yeah, anything's possible. You know, just overheat. My belief was overheated, and yeah,
right.
my malediction destroyed his. I don't know, rapid light missile serve. I don't know how. It's just he just
It
got
just
caught on a
happened.
bad reload.
He accidentally burnt out his guns before the fight started, clearing the rats. It's just what happens, you know.
There are very
Exactly.
few people who could ever flip the Keepstars, and that's why they were set up the way they were. It's possible, but
Yeah,
it's
so that's
very rare.
another attribute.
Well, that's
of
true of most alliances. Right?
stable alliances that
I
there is
don't know.
limited access to things.
I mean, that's what Test thought too, though, right? Back in the pre-Villy test. Let's be clear, pre-Villy test.
I have no idea about that period. So
Is that like
The-
Task
the-
PV? Is that
the
what's
hu-
going to
the
be known
honey-
as
the hu-
in
the
the
honey-
book?
The Honey
The Honey
Badger
Badgers?
Coalition, guys.
The
Come
Honey
on.
Badgers, yeah.
You guys need to
Sword
read your.
Dragon,
You guys
like-
need to read your history lessons. Come
Honey
on.
Badgers, CFC, all that stuff.
I
Back
started
when
playing
Sword
the game in
Dragon ruled it.
2019. So
You guys are a bunch of Zoomers. You guys are talking shit, and you're like that young. Come on, guys.
Greg's
yeah, I'm
a-
still better
Greg-
at the game than most people. So fuck you.
Suck the fuck off. Greg's a little Greg, you've been in what, a year and a half, 2 years?
I
something
think
like that.
Greg is really Big Bill using a voice mod. That's just me, but I think I'm not the
yes.
only one who thinks that though.
Now that you said it, I'm thinking it too.
See?
It's like if you put Big Bill in Sundering and then yeah,
It's
exactly.
like a cookie cutter. Just cookie cutter. Cha-chunk,
Yep.
cha-chunk, cha-chunk.
Well, how do you know what my fucking corporation is, bud?
Because I was in that corporation, I fucking left because it was awful.
Oh,
To
gotcha.
be
Okay.
fair, people that you were in with aren't there anymore. So
Yeah,
Was it
that's
something
probably
awful?
good. Nah.
Jesus.
Anyways, so what the fuck's gonna go on after this this war of northern aggression is over? How are you guys gonna hold on to all this space? What's Delve? You said you're gonna stay
By
in period
shooting the people
basis.
who invade
Quirius, Fountain, plus all your fucking other space. That's gonna be
mean,
quite an endeavor, isn't it?
Period.
After
Quirius
this,
Fountain,
Delve
period
and
basis, and Delve.
by simply shooting the people who try and take it from us. It is a foreign concept for goons, I
So-
know, but we will in fact fight back.
So when GSF is pushed out of Delve, you're telling me that you guys aren't going to try to go on the offensive somewhere?
No, I don't.
I don't think they're
Why
gonna have the
would we?
resources to go on the offensive.
They're
so
not
I'm
gonna
gonna
have
be
the
honest.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I were you.
Don, do you still have Omeka Gold's phone number?
stop
name
trying
I
to
would
set me off. I hate that person. He's one of the few people in this game I just hate. Jeremy's at least adorably stupid.
Olmeca and I disagree on lots, but he's a good guy in the end. Like it's
No, I don't believe that at all.
that's the same way many
Did
people
you-
feel about goons, right? So now
Did you
you
meet
know.
him at Vegas? 'Cause he was at Vegas. He was pretty chill.
No,
I really want to go to Vegas this year. I hope there's another stimulus check I can cash in.
Jesus.
To sell your
me.
game,
Oh
stop
my.
share,
Sell
you
your liver or
fucking
something.
monkey.
I did.
Spread COVID so it keeps
Oh, you
going
finally
on.
sold
More
them.
money.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I showed them. I showed them a while back. I posted it in the Corp Discord I
I
made.
didn't see that. I must have missed
But
it.
you didn't post it here. You didn't post it in the only
I
Discord
did.
where
It's in the
someone
stocks.
actually cared for your
It's in the
for your
stocks channel.
success. Jeez.
It's in the stocks channel.
No one ever reads that shit. Who reads that shit?
Wait,
If
the
you
what?
lose-
The
if you
what
end up
channel?
losing
The
money
Exactly.
or-
Loki doesn't even know.
I'm a fucking. I have all the channels, and I don't even know about that channel.
Well, you don't have all the channels.
Okay, so I don't have all of it. I have most of the channels.
Well, you have
I just
some
don't
of
have
the
that
channels.
that channel where fucking Redline talks shit about me. It's literally called like fuck Loki.
It's backstage. That's what it's called.
I mean, I'm in that channel.
Yeah, and that's where I talk shit about you. That's where I talk shit about everybody. It is what it is, you know? That's what happens. Anyways, so moving on, since we obviously can't talk about toxic goons and culture wars because it starts way too many arguments. Like, geez, come on.
Can we talk about Siberian squads?
What do you want to talk about Siberian squads?
What the fuck's going on with them? They've
Nothing.
left
They're
Aquarius.
garbage.
They got kicked out of Aquarius. Now they're in Fountain. They're about to get kicked out of Fountain. Where do we think they're going to go next? What do we
Man,
think
You
they're
think
gonna
you can get actually kicked out of Fountain permanently? That's adorable.
So let's
Have you
just
met Fountain Core?
let's just put this all to rest, right? So Siberian squads, when is constantly being tasked with defending entire regions against enemies that outnumber them, and truth be told, just overwhelm them with their forces. And
But that's not at all true.
it is at all true.
What-
That's exactly what happened up in
Wait.
the Venal Tenal War, when GOTG was
When-
just like, okay, Sim Squad, you defend everything, and Ranger Regiment was like, yes, we defend too, and then they just
Hansa
couldn't.
did all of the work.
Yeah, Hansa
So-
did all of the work. He did everything that he could to defend it, and then when he
And he called you
realized that
trash.
GOTG wasn't, like, the rest of the coalition wasn't going to be doing anything, they just fucking bounced. Ranger Regiment was like, we're not going to do it. They just fucking bounced too. It's like they have a history of having all this shit put on their back, and it feels like they just don't want that. Like,
You
there's the
know,
same thing that happened in this war.
Man, it would have sucked if it wouldn't left the one alliance that wouldn't have done that to them.
Coalition.
They could
Bullshit.
always come and help us destroy Snuff.
How would you
I
not have
mean-
done that? What would Siberian squads be doing if they didn't leave Legacy right now?
Probably
holding
abandoning Faith of Bolus.
Fountain. Yeah, Fountain and all that. Like, here's
Okay,
the
so
thing.
they'd be holding a region on their own, which is
No,
the
they'd be
exact
holding a
thing that
region
the
with
Imperium is
allies.
expecting them to do.
With Fed Up. Fed Up is so irrelevant. They don't even fucking matter. The only reason why they own
They have, they have 2 constellations in Fountain.
Just 'cause
Like,
they own, the only reason why they
how
own
are you
six
that
is
shit
we're
at
not even
defending
trying.
Fountain if you can't
Dawn,
compete in a relevant alliance?
who owns more iHubs? Fed Up or Imperium? Or
Fed Up.
Fed Up or
We own more-
Goonswarm?
Goonswarm owns more TCU, so technically we own.
Okay.
I checked. Someone was like spouting shit like, "Oh, Fed Up owns more systems than Goonswarm." So I went to Dotland and I looked at the list, and Goonswarm was above Fed Up, and I said, "Suck my dick."
Fed Up
So
has
I
more
win.
sovereign
If
Fountain
whoever-
than Siberian squads. Fed Up has more sovereign.
But when they were in
Full-
Quirius,
full
right?
stop.
The only time they really got like hard destroyed was when like someone from Test or someone from like one of the PAP coalitions came and helped Brave and
So
Severin.
when
It was a pretty
three times numbers than them, yes, you guys would beat them. But if they fought just Brave, of the locals in the area, they did great, or were even.
Because Siberian Squad had more capitals than Brave, probably. That's
Also,
capitals
time
more
was
than,
on
like,
base.
time zones, yeah.
Like, yeah, Siberian Squad in Russian time zone is stronger than Brave's Russian time zone. Shocker, right? Like,
But then how come I still kicked Brave's ass in?
Are you Siberian Squad? Are you Siberian Squad?
Do you consider
I'm just
kicking
saying.
someone's ass as running around in windrunners and occasionally killing some toast?
If I could win an iHub contest in Hurricanes versus Serbs, yes, you guys suck dick.
Well, Serbs are
What?
terrible against
Sorry,
Canes.
against
What are you talking about?
No,
Yeah,
she.
they brought
No, she
they
beat some like
60 Serbs
completely
for
brand new FC.
Hurricanes, and
You
they
beat
lost. And we
completely
won
brand new FC, and that's your only win, and you're gonna just take that as far as you can.
I was on that fleet. It was a good fucking fleet. You fucking
the
don't take
last
anything
one
away
was-
from Don, bud.
I'm just saying, don't think Brave can't hold themselves up at all. They have to have Test Daddy take care of them. They cannot take care of
New
themselves.
Bro Coalition.
They're not new bros.
Say
They really are, Don. Like if
How
you
the fuck are they
never
a Negro
actually-
coalition? Brave?
Brave has
will have
been-
some reconstruction if they're going to survive. Just saying.
New bro for what? 10 years now?
Brave is
Yeah,
still
stop
filled
shooting
with,
Brave. They're
must-
new bros.
Must be slow
Brave
lunars.
is still. You would be surprised how much of Brave is actually new bros. Like Brave can put together like 150-man fleet, and like 50 of them will be in T1 frigates. That's like their numbers are incredibly inflated by the amount of new bros that you see. Because you'll see 50 Brave on the battle report, and like 15 of them are brand new players who just.
I mean, they should
Don't-
relabel. They should relabel like Brave Newbies or something, dude, because that doesn't make any sense.
How many of those are spy alts, and how many of those are actual new players?
You have to
Uh-huh.
have
That's true.
worth spying on.
I didn't deal with spies much when I was in Brave. I just told them who to shoot and killed a lot of goons doing that.
Yeet.
Hey, it's fucking friendship week too, eh?
I
Hey.
bought,
What
who bought that Omega deal? I got the Omega deal. The 15% off or whatever.
15% off your car insurance?
15% off 1 year.
Switch to Geico.
We don't get Biden bucks in Canada.
Oh, we don't.
It's
We just get the
unfortunate.
CERB.
The CERB.
Oh, the shit we gotta
hell
pay
is
back and
that?
stuff. Yeah, it sucks.
Cerberus.
Yeah, dude, they're giving us Cerberuses, like real ones. It's pretty dope.
Cerberus?
It's a different way to say free money.
It's a whole thing, yeah.
Justin Trudeau looks a hell of a lot better with his shirt off than fucking Biden, anyways.
That's for sure.
Oh,
Of
baby.
course it's for
That's
sure.
how
What
I.
do you mean?
That's how I pick my presidents.
Yeah.
Damn straight.
If they don't look good, I don't want them.
Nice.
Hey,
perfect.
oh
Why
yes,
would I vote for them if I wouldn't date them?
Hold on, redirecting. Titan jump to beacon in Crow. Big, very funny, very funny.
Just-
In Crow?
Just
Not
now?
in Crow?
No, what did you say?
The Titan that jumped to the beacon earlier today and tried to doomsday.
Jump to a beacon in Encrow. What the
He
fuck?
was,
Not in Crow.
apparently he was trying to bridge and fucked it up. Which is
Oh,
not
wait. He had a near-death experience?
he leered.
No, he
And
didn't have a near death
By the way-
experience. He had a death experience.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It's very leer covered.
By the way, Billy, I'm actually really mad. Whoever killed my Fortizar in DW, that was very rude of you, sir. Just throwing that out there. It was the school of bridging. Now everybody's going to jump instead of bridge. God
That's
damn
a
it.
good thing. There's like 2 bait beacons in Delve. We just want that to happen all the time.
There's 3 now.
Like, there's 3.
One's-
Oh my god, there's 3. 3 bait beacons, which means 3
I
times
find
the
it
Titan
unlikely
kill
that guy was a jump instead of bridge when he doesn't have a bridge fit.
He meant to- he might have meant bridge. Maybe it was a different one they were talking about. I don't know.
He was trying to bridge. He just really fucked it.
Well,
Trust me, I've seen people try to do it. They undock like, okay, guys, I'm ready to bridge, guys, and then weak, and they just disappear, and you're like, where did?
Also, why the fuck does he have active hardeners on an avatar? The hell
really
is
an
this?
old
Do we want to talk about the guy who fed 2 supers to the beacon, the same beacon this week?
Oh, Jesus, this dude.
Lost
the dude who
one,
had-
lost
the
one
dude
and
who
then
ejected.
ejected from the other.
Wait, really?
Yeah, some Bovril guy. He lost a Nyx to one of the beacons. I think it was one Smeb, and then like a day later, another Bovril guy who we're pretty sure is the guy's all jumped to hell to the AGI beacon.
What
and then
alliance is he in
ejected.
now? What coalition?
I think he is in the Horde, I believe.
Right, he's in our coalition, so
Okay, so watch the beacons is what you're
And
saying,
there
basically.
is a lot of stuff in the background there that makes that even funnier. But I will let Billy choose to speak on that if he wants to, because
I mean, if you haven't noticed, I keep telling you saving goons is difficult, and none of you believe me, but they are really trying to kill themselves.
I believe we started off the show by talking about Theta and how stupid they were, Don.
Yeah.
Trying to say when PL would just dread bomb them.
Yeah, pretty much if
Dog.
like Kumi or Nulak, at least when I was starting in Theta, if Kumi or Nulak or Ganel didn't have the Sino, everyone else was just like, I don't know what's going on. And it hasn't really changed because poking them to get them to do anything is like pulling teeth.
We got some pretty good people now, Don.
Yeah, they're fun for
Dawn,
talking
have you
to.
considered the possibility that it's not always worth saving people?
Are you gonna join test?
So basically, that attitude is the attitude that I fight every day because I believe in trying to save everybody and educating them to not make mistakes in the future if possible. Now, if someone's a dick, yeah, like fuck him, who cares? But I have people come in, they make mistakes, they freak out, and there are people who say, God, get fucked and die. And then there's other people like, no, let's try to save them. It's kind of a balance. That's why I got promoted because I'm one of the few people in leadership who wasn't so burnt out from saving retards. Or sorry, let me take the back. Numbnuts. Numbnuts.
The truth comes out.
People so.
I mean,
people who are such
Don's
numbnuts.
correct, and
Oh,
it's
you have
actually
to-
funny because I remember a really awesome story relevant to this. So we had a guy who was in, I think it was FCON at the time, and he got his Aeon killed around the MTACO area when we were working with them in like 2014, 2013 time zone. And his name was Jenna Frey. And this dude got himself killed, and he got summarily booted from FCON. And so I was in a Goon Corp at the time called Eternity Inc., and we recruited him right after that because we're like, hey, man, people make mistakes. Shit happens, right? And that guy ended up later on becoming the recruitment director for the Corp, and he's still there today. And he's a solid dude. That sometimes you just press the wrong button or you do something dumb accidentally, and if you give those guys a second chance, if you show them a little bit of mercy, compassion, help, whatever, sometimes they're the strongest people you'll ever meet, right?
I like to shit on Bob. We all like to mock each other. We're like, haha, kick Aski, haha, kick Karmafleet, kick Bovril, kick Miner, fine. Because everybody's corpse just does things stupid. I've literally had before where I saved a Russian, could not speak more than 2 words of English, and we saved him 1 week. And I explained to him what to do because the save was awful, but somehow we did it. And I explained to him using Google Translate how to handle it next time. He got tackled literally the next week and was almost perfect the next week. And he kept saying, Dawn was so nice, Dawn helped me out, she really taught me what to do. And those are the moments that I like to play in this game for, and I look forward to. There are other people in Goonswarm, and I'm sure every side has the people like that care too much, but I will never have that attitude of fuck them, let them die, ever. That's why I do Logi, that's why I'm in Theta, is because I believe that if you save people, you run a higher chance of teaching them how to fix themselves.
And they're all there. I mean, I agree with you. I think it's a bad idea, especially with the new dudes who very mess up their first time going out in a roar pool. But there are some people who just constantly warp their dreads into solo PvP against 60 T3Cs.
Yeah, let him die.
This one guy.
That's a different story.
You've been taught, and there were a lot of people that I saw personally when I was in GSF. If you've been taught how to get yourself saved and you choose to ignore it, yeah, good luck.
There was this guy in Brave who consistently roll commander was like, I'm baiting, and then we'd ask him okay, do you have anything to follow up on what you bait? And he's like, no. And it's like, okay, you're not baiting. And then he just kept doing it. He kept getting tackled, kept feeding rocks. It was like, come on, dude. I'm trying to help you here.
At least have a sign out or something around.
He's in the staging. It doesn't matter if he had a sign out.
Yeah.
He was right, dude. That is exactly how you bait. I'd like that guy to come bait somewhere around Domain or Derelict later. That would be great.
Loki, ping me when he does.
I'll let him. Well, don't worry, there will be pings. I will let him bait all night long. I was trying to say it so it wasn't super fucking dirty. So sorry, guys. But anyway, I caught
dirty.
I caught myself, and I was like, all right, now let's figure our way out of this one, Loki. And that's all I had. So sorry.
I love you, Loki.
So would you say that this person is a master of baiting?
Stop this.
Not yet, Gregor, not yet. But if he works really, really hard someday,
we were getting so close to not having that be a thing that was said on the channel, and you just had to do it. You had to do it. So what else are we talking about tonight? You guys want to talk about the battleship minifier? I kind of want to talk about that.
What's that?
The battleship. It's a battleship ADM, ADC, I should say. It is a battleship ADC that is counteracted.
It is most certainly not the same as an ADC.
Well, it's the same. It's the same principle. It's not the same functionality, but it's the same sort of principle.
Same idea.
It's kind of like It's kind of like a target spectre breaker, except completely different.
It reduces your sig radius by 10% while you have it equipped, and then you can hit it in, depending on your skill level, anywhere from 9 to 15 seconds. You will have 70% reduced sig radius.
Wait, and what is it called again?
The battleship minifier.
Signature suppressor or something.
Signature suppressors, or
but as far as I'm concerned, it's not really going to change anything. It's it'll make battleships slightly better in the situations that they were already good, and all the situations where you wouldn't use them, you're still not going to use them.
Well, I mean, hold on, but what would you replace on the battleship? Say on a Goonswarm battleship, whatever, a Megathron or a Balgorn.
Let me
what
find
would
the Megathron.
What is it really worth it to replace a module?
Yeah. You can pick
So-
a tracking comp for it.
We got plenty of things to take.
It only really works on armor battleships first off, because shield battleships are already super tight on mid slots, so it's not going to be a shield battleship thing. So it's going to be an armor battleship thing. Most of the commonly used armor battleships have spare mids. They've got track computers, sensor boosters, MJDs, you name it, right? So there will be no shortage of open slots to put a whatever it's called.
Yeah. I could see something on like a faction battleship, maybe. But I don't think
Nightmares
we
is gonna be really good on Nightmares.
No,
I
it's
don't think
not.
they're gonna
You
want
can't fit
to.
it on a Nightmare. You'd have to
You can't?
do
You
so
can
much.
armor
shit.
fit a nightmare. What are you talking about? I have
Loses
one.
so much tank if you put it on a Nightmare.
You only need
As-
the fairest of minimum of tanks, okay? All the tracking in the world in the mid. That's
You could maybe pull it off on a Bargist, but nobody's running Bargist fleets.
Peter runs Bargus fleet.
Maybe a Mercurial, but I don't think.
Yes, obviously Macarial is the go-to with its 6 mid slots. Like, that's not even a question, really, is it?
Yeah, they could be useful.
I mean, it
for
is.
The Mimitar battleships, the Tempest, TFI, Macarial, Typhoon, etc. That line of battleships is the one that most obviously looks like it has the opportunity to take advantage of this because it's got the lower signature radius to begin with, combined with the open mid slots to take advantage of it and the ability to tank on armor. I think
Yeah,
it's almost a certainty that you will see this on Tempests and TFIs and Macarials in the upcoming future.
And for Megathrons, you're talking a 4 mid-slot battleship, and you're going to probably at least have one tracking computer, one sensor booster, a prop mod, and a cat booster. And
So
that's
what
really
you're
the
saying
core
is,
essential thing you need. So you can't really fit in.
what I'm hearing is that take off the tracking computer and we'll bring AB Munids in again because that worked really well the last time.
No, it
one of
didn't work.
It didn't work at all, but
They didn't.
it's funny to see.
Oh god.
Just because something didn't work one time doesn't mean it won't work the next.
Yeah. No, I'm just messing around.
I just remember
Afterburner
PGL
hacks are actually quite strong in the meta right now.
I remember when
Maybe,
PGL had that Goku fleet and fucking bombed a Cerberus fleet of a
Wait.
certain known FC.
Did Billy just say that Operation Anaho 2.0 is a go?
No, he just said that AB hack fleets are good.
We also
I
said
don't-
that.
AB Eagles are good, yeah.
Need a big fight to get a fleet big enough to actually competently use
I
Eagles
am
to-
glad that
for
the
the-
mutant meta is dead. Hate mutants.
Think there'll be anything to the scale of M2 ever again?
Do you mean armor or whole timer? Because
Your guys' pace.
It's gonna be
What?
one
I
DQ
killed
if
two
it can even happen.
Keepstars yesterday. Shut the fuck up about our pace.
If it doesn't happen in this war, it'll happen in another war. Eve.
You
it
have a lot
always
of structures.
happens.
We kill.
That's the funny part. We picked up like 2/3 of them way before.
Killing all our crabbing Keepstars. Congratulations.
I mean, still money. You
Just
have
care
to,
about
like,
that Keepstar. Didn't care about that sub. Didn't care about that region. Didn't care about that Keepstar. Didn't care
Don't
about
care
that
about
one
those rigs of
system.
DOs. Didn't
Don't
care about those
that one
reaction
system in the one
facilities.
DQ constellation. Didn't care about the second one or the third. Oh no, they took one DQ. Shit.
Didn't care about those jump bridges. Didn't care about those cyanide jammers.
I haven't used Ansible
someone-
X in fucking months.
I know, because we fucking killed them all.
Considering I know who owned those rigged Sotios that you were all like really jerking it about, they actually don't really care.
The what? A corp out of 22 that had a rig Sotia? Oh, 22. One corp out of 54 that had a rig Sotia didn't care about losing
Yeah,
it?
the most
I would say the
expensive
same
one,
thing.
I know.
I
Who
would
owns
follow
those?
the narrative,
Thank
and I
you.
would not be the one person to step out of line. So come on, let's just be honest about that as well.
Yeah, because I've talked to a couple Goon Corp CEOs, and they were not thrilled about losing their fucking Sotios, so...
And well, they'll get over it because guess what? The Alliance will put up a whole new Sotio for everybody wherever we go.
But that's the thing. They don't want to use someone else's Sotio. They want to use their own, so their corps can make money, so they can do stuff with their corps.
I still don't see us moving out of 1DQ.
I mean,
you're not
listen,
gonna move here for the
if you let me be clear, man. Like, if you don't think that we can break 1DQ, you're entitled to that opinion, right? Like, but we are gonna go into 1DQ. We are gonna scale the walls, and we're gonna break it down, just like we've broken down every other goalpost you guys have said. The fact that 1DQ is well fortified is a well-known fact, but fortifications only mean so much. The attacker has every ability to go and go and go until we find a hole that we can push through, and then we will kill 1DQ.
What are you prepared to sacrifice for 1DQ?
Well, I mean, we were prepared to sacrifice 20 Titans just to get a jump in the M2 armor hull fight. What do you like?
Alright,
there is
so
nobody that has been willing to risk more than the Pappy forces in this war.
Right. So what branch of Pappy's Titans are you going to sacrifice for 1DQ?
says we're gonna have to sacrifice any, but if we're sacrificing Titans, we'll sacrifice them the exact same way we sacrificed last time as a group.
So Test will die first.
Go
Good.
hand in hand. Actually, in the whole time I remember
Kumbaya.
it was. Oh, no, the Horde Hex warped in first. Never mind. It was mostly Test that died that the whole time.
I was the first subcap to die there of Horde in that fleet.
Bless you.
Sheesh.
The impression that we are somehow going to be afraid to lose Titans is
delusional,
naive. I would say it's probably the best way to, it's just the reality. Yeah, my Komodo did not jump because I was stuck on the bottom at the time, unfortunately.
As soon as the first fight happened, when the Boson trap was tried and supers were brought into the war, it was very clear both sides were willing to sacrifice whatever it took to win.
I don't know, dude.
I don't know. They're sacrificing a lot of Keepstars in their attempt to win. Let me say that.
Keepstars cost what? 1.5 Titans. Okay.
They're sacrificing a lot of Keepstars, but I don't see an attempt
It's
to
not
win.
just it's not just the Keepstars. It's all the people that you forget about that have to pay. They have to wait for everything they have to pay the asset safety fees over and over again.
If they didn't move their shit to 1DQ like we told them to in the last 10 months, it's on them.
Like F2OY,
shit out, dude.
Like F2OY.
You say most people move their shit out, but I literally watched 200 freighter loads of stuff being moved out of 8RQ the last 3 days. Like saying that people moved their stuff 5 months ago, that is also quite naive because that's not how people work.
If you didn't move
Especially
your shit,
when you've been telling them the entire time that Helm's Deep is secure, you're never gonna have to move it at Helm's Deep. Delve is secure, you're never gonna have to move it at Delve. Everything's fine, guys. You never said that, we were never going to invade Delve. We were never going to take Helm's Deep, all these other things.
We said to be safest, stage everything in 1DQ.
Helm's Deep was convenient fuckfest.
Was convenient fuckfest. What does that mean?
Helm's Deep was literally nothing. Like you did a
Exactly.
gate camp for a couple months,
Helm's
and that's
Deep-
pretty much it. Well,
Helm's
everything
Deep
else
has
around
the
you
longest
burned.
Well, we kind of fucking won the whole thing, didn't we?
No.
No.
Didn't we?
On the
No.
whole, what? What is the thing that you
Oh
won?
no, not Helm's Deep. I'm thinking about M2 there. We won that quite handily.
One
yes, you guys
battle.
absolutely crushed M2 Part 2, 100%. Props where it's due.
All right, I gotta go. Redline, see ya.
Okay, goodbye.
All right, see you, bud.
But I mean, it's right now. I mean, I kind of keep pushing this. The siege of 1DQ has started already, right? It's slowly ramping up because the first thing that any army does when they want to attack a city is you cut off the points to the outside. So we're cutting off all the structures that you all can evac to or jump to, to get stuff in. Because no one wants to jump freight to the NPC Delve because it sucks as NPC stations. They're just the absolute worst to jump freighter to.
Really? Okay.
What Jeremy's saying is both true and untrue. There will be no shortage of jump freighters that will use NPC Delve, but there will be some that will choose not to.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that they won't, right? I'm saying they're the worst kind to use because when you undock from them, you're already like at that. You're 1,000 meters out from the undocking ring.
They're not all kickouts.
They're not all? Okay.
PR tech isn't.
Most of them are all like claws going down.
They're all the like semi kickouts, which is as long as you're paying attention, you're fine. There's a couple of them that are safe on docks, and there's a couple that are kickouts, if I recall correctly.
You got like at least 10 to 20 seconds of like drift before you like have to like dock back up. On most of the ones that I've been on, GTT, PR tech, 1D8.
Most of the primary ones are either safe or semi-safe on docks.
It's like we've had to deal with this bullshit for years.
Like I've heard this narrative, oh, why don't you come for 1DQ1? Why don't you come for 1DQ1? Even when GSF was leading campaigns, we did not go for the headshot right away. We burned everything else first before going in for the staging. Like just sitting there and claiming, oh, go for a headshot. It's stupid.
But Thomas, this isn't the Imperium doing campaigns. This is people who aren't the Imperium. So obviously employing the same tactics that the Imperium
Well, this is the
employ.
This is the
is
people
incorrect.
that used to lead the Imperium's war machine when it was actually good, right? Woo!
I mean, if the I will take issue with that. If the Imperium War Machine wasn't good, it wouldn't require the rest of the game to kill it.
It's not that it's good; it's large.
I mean, big is good in a sense, is it not?
Speaking of big, you know what we haven't seen much in this fucking war? The big red boat. And that's a little bit of a fucking weapon that hasn't been unleashed. You guys must be a little afraid of that. eh?
Did you no? Did you hear? He just got married. Why would he be
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
video
I
games?
know. He's fucking in coitus right now. He will be for the next.
I thought you were
next little
going
while.
to be going.
Are we
into-
allowed to kind of talk about what he's doing in real life at all? I don't know.
He
like,
tweeted
how
it. He
public-
tweeted it.
Having sex right now? Of course he is.
No. I mean more like his like teaching stuff.
Yeah,
He's
Oh.
tweeted. Okay, so like
yeah, he
like,
tweeted he got married, so that's why I said it.
okay, well, as far as I'm tracking, Boat is like, as you say, he got married. He's, a teacher. He's kicking ass, and he's running like a wrestling team or something, and it's taking up a ton of his time. Like, Boat is succeeding at not playing Eve, right? Like, and power to him. The man is a fucking machine. If there's one thing I've always said about Boat, there is no man that can outgrind the Big Red Boat, or there used to be. Like, I always considered myself a grinder FC when I was younger, and like even then, I stood in awe of what. A grinder FC, as in would grind the hours.
Swiping right, Philly.
But sure. But Boat was always the man to stand in awe of when it came to grinding structures. The ability for that man to just put in the hours and lead fleets for literally 10 hours a day. It always blew me away.
He still is the man, and when he's done having sex, he's coming for you, Billy.
No one cares about what he's doing. Stop talking
With
about
that
it. You're
being
such
said,
a fucking creep,
since
dude.
he's
Jesus Christ.
since he's been relegated and not allowed to fly anything bigger than bombers, his threat level's gone down a bit, but he's still a pretty solid bomber FC in the current
I was
meta.
about to
And,
say, Boda's #1 bomber FC. In Eve right now, so.
Well,
I don't know about in Eve, but he's definitely a good bomber FC.
I got a
And
YTAC 200 dead Ravens that would disagree with you that Boat is not a threat. That was Boat's doing, right?
Who said Boat is not a threat?
You
thanks
did.
I got a dip. See you guys.
I most certainly did not say Boat is not a threat.
You just did. You said he's less of a threat since he's been relegated to flying bombers. Was that not what you just said?
I meant more. Okay, sure. I guess I technically said it that way, but more so I meant in that he's only got bombers. He's allowed to really run, right? They've kind of denied him the battleship keys or whatever. So
I don't know if that's true.
Battleship keys are overrated anyway, right, Imperium guys? You just fly Cerberus.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Boat. I think Boat's a great guy, and the war and Imperium is less for not having him around.
If it's not a Rorqual, I have no idea what to do with it.
That Boat's fleets are an adventure, that's for sure.
The thing is, Boat is one of those FCs that understands one of the key components of being an FC is you're also an entertainer, right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Being an FC is not just like go to objective, complete objective. It's also keeping the guys that show up on your operation entertained, keeping them interested, keeping them focused, keeping them on point. And yeah.
So you know what GSF does when to do that? So I have had at least 2 to 3 FCs ask me to come on fleets with them just to keep the fleet entertained because they don't know how to do it.
I thought most of the time when goons wanted to entertain their fleet, they just stood it down so they could go do something else while their regions burned.
Oh, there's the shit. The fuck. I was making light. Come on, Red Line.
You think I'm gonna make light on Trash Talk Tuesday? Come on. This
was actually pretty funny.
This isn't Theta Thursday.
Hmm.
No, it ain't.
Actually, speaking of other shows, I do have a special announcement. Crossing the Red Line starts this Sunday at 1800 Eve. Are you excited?
Ooh, what's that?
Red line. What is crossing the red line? Tell us.
Crossing the Red Line is where I take one controversial person from EVE Online and talk to them and ask them all the burning questions that none of the other shows will because they're scared that they will get demonetized or something like that. This week on Sunday, it's going to be Cable. I'm going to ask him how he feels about being the most notorious cheater and gamer in the game EVE Online.
Wait, what did he do?
I don't know, but we'll find out on Sunday.
Sounds like you got those really hard questions prepared.
You could say a lot of things about Cable, but you can't accuse him of having low self-esteem.
That is true.
I fucking love Cable. Like everyone hates him, but I do not hate him.
I don't hate him.
He's the only person that I can violently argue with without getting mad at him, which is why he's the perfect guest for this silly show. That's Sunday at 1800 Eve. Sorry. So
sure.
Have we
I'll
talked
watch
about
it.
Have we talked about everything we're supposed to talk about?
You didn't probably need to talk about Rain and what she did over the weekend.
Oh yeah,
Just to get-
Rain.
Yeah.
Rain, tell us about the campaign. How did that go? How did it all end up? Is it over? Can we still donate?
You can still donate. Yeah. Do you guys have the link on hand?
Well, it just so happens that I certainly do have the link right here. I'm just going to spam it in the Twitch chat a little bit.
Yeah, so I'll talk about what happened. So last week I kind of announced it more publicly on a talk show what was happening. It's been kind of making its way through social media at the time. So we got like, what was it, $500 last week before it even started, and then I asked Drayden if he wanted to like promote it on Open Comms. So you guys, because you were on there too, what was it, like $2,000? It hit $2,000 on Friday.
Yeah.
I went to bed Friday night, woke up, and it was over 5,000 from Urschlag, which is another one of our streamers that he volunteered to help and give to. Apparently, he gave away a lot of skins and stuff to kind of help promote it. But his viewers were pretty happy, and they gave a ton of real life dollars. So I did, and then I did my segment. Manic, Leah, who was it? Manic, Drayden, Sutonia. Yeah, I think it was those three and me. All streamed Saturday, and we got some pretty solid donations. I think it was 6,000 ish by the time I went to bed. I'm trying to remember.
Sounds all right.
Yeah, and then so that was how it ended. Like by the time my stream section ended, and so CCP Convict had told me if I managed to stream it or managed to raise 1,000 in my segment of loan, they would match 1,000. So that hasn't come through yet, but it should. And then, so that was happening. And then Sunday, Liara streamed EVE Online for the first time. CCP Convict streamed on the CCP channel with Locavol. We got some shout outs on Talking in Stations over the weekend as well, and from Ron. And then Scottish Dex finished us off at just under 9,500. I think I logged in about, what was it? I'm trying to remember. It was sometime on Monday. It was either like Monday morning or Sunday night. And we were still receiving donations even on Monday, and people were still shouting us out. And then Convict reached out today to let me know that CCP is going to be submitting the $1,000 through at some point. So we should be peaked over 10,000, I think, by this all wraps up, or the time this all wraps up.
Right now it's at 9,600, so we're shy $400 of hitting 10,000. And I think we could do that. There's 200 people watching. If all of you do $2, we'll hit that target like right now, and Rain will have to raise the goal again.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so that's been great. I mean, it's been astounding. I didn't think, like, I set the goal kind of low because I didn't have a lot of time to organize. I didn't have a lot of time to bug a lot of people. I'm gonna link the leaderboards actually in Cesspool, and I'll link it in stream chat. What's
Do
that?
you link the actual link to the stuff?
The what link?
This is like how you send the stuff to you.
Yeah, the tiltify.com. So Nuit and post it in chat.
I put it in the cesspool too.
Oh, thank you. And then, but like if you look at the leaderboards, right? So there's like individual. So that's if me individually made a campaign on Tiltify. You have teams, and you can see Streamfleet is there with number 2, with number 1 being spawned together, which is the overarching like team campaign. And so we are like, I think what's his face, Billy. Sorry, Billy was talking last week. He's like, well, who's the highest like donator? Like, can we beat that goal? And obviously Streamfleet's blown it out of the park. And I use hashtag Streamfleet. I don't mean Streamfleet specifically as like the org, but Streamfleet as just an easy way to refer to the EVE Online community without a bunch of words and whatnot. So like obviously EVE players, like even with, me not being able to organize as much as I wanted, everyone else just kind of stepped up to help promote it, help give shout outs. I know if you look through the donations, you can see like we only had like less than a dozen streamers technically streaming for it with like the donation bars on screen and whatnot, but at the same time there's tons of streamers, if you read the chats, who actually donated. So there's other communities like Miss Marisha donated, Mr. Unlucky, all these groups like Rundle promoting it on Talking in Stations, New Eden Post promoting it on the various shows, open comms, just all these groups just promoting it, sharing it, etc. has been like super helpful. And because of this, we're able to raise, over $10,000 to help folks actually game.
Yeah, you did a great job, Rain. Honestly, some fantastic work. Redline, I know that you turned a very personal situation into a fantastic donation, $1,000. You did that. I saw that roll by. Serious big props to you, man. And other
There you go,
people.
Rain.
Yeah, good job, Redline. And other people, there was an anonymous person who donated $1,000. I mean,
Yeah.
and there's people who are completely out of work and are like, hey, I got $5 and you can take it. So from each spectrum, seriously, excellent work. Good job, Rain. Good job, Eve community. Overall, fantastic.
Yeah, it can't really like a lot of people. I think it's kind of funny because we all sit here and talk smack to each other about in-game stuff, and like it even got to the point where we're talking about like toxicity and people quitting the game and all that. But like I think this really shows the opposite side of like EVE Online. Like we're a bunch of villains and bad guys and just rude people in the game, but when it comes down to it, we really just want to help each other out in real life, and like these charity drives really demonstrate I think the true value of the EVE community, especially outside of the game.
And we kicked ass in some ventures, Rain.
We did,
Seriously.
yeah. Solo
And
PvP.
Dominarch is going to
Sweet.
shave his head.
And so are you, Redline. Oh, actually, speaking of that, so Scottish Dex said he was going to shave his beard, and I think he tweeted out today. He actually did shave his beard. It was yesterday or today. I remember seeing the tweet. But he, like, shaved and everything. And so Dominarch's going to do it. And Dominarch has hair down to his shoulders. And Redline is eventually going to do it. I know Redline's, like, doing interviews and stuff, so he can't really do it professionally right now. But I think when the time comes, he's going to shave his head for us.
Who was it last year that shaved their beard off for charity? Do you remember that?
There was a couple of them. I know Tamaya Cowboy has done it. I think Torvald shaved his mustache.
Torvald, that's
one
what it
time.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I
his
thought
mustache.
Raid was going to say that Dex was going to shave his head.
No, he doesn't have any hair.
Donation says Rain the O100 op is starting.
Oof.
No, there's no O100 op. Stop. In PTSD.
Well, it's
All right, we got. Let's see, where are we at? We've got. Math is hard. $103 left to go.
Yeah. So Don. Oh my gosh, you guys all donated. So Gregory just donated. Don donated. Anonymous. Borealis Concepts. Thank you all so much,
Starbuck?
guys.
Phaeton, so he's watching too.
Oh yeah, Starbuck. I didn't scroll down all the way. Oh, and then Xavier. So someone anonymous donated like 45 minutes ago.
That was probably from Talking to Stations because it bumped up to $30.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's an amazing cause. It's an amazing campaign, and I'm glad that we can all sit here and chat shit at each other because goons are bad and they're going to be eradicated from the video game EVE Online. But we can also work together for a common
Didn't
hope.
you, Ragnar? My shiny named Rain. Okay.
You're horrible, Dave.
Oh man.
Don't call me Dave.
Oh, sorry, Redline.
Stop this tragedy from happening. Ugh. I hate that. I hate it so much.
So, Rain, how much do you have left to go? You said $103, right?
Yeah.
Well, now it's $83.
Jose or Jose donated
Jose.
as well.
Told you the new goal is 11K. Rain, 11K.
Swear to God.
We
I
gotta hit it. We gotta hit it.
I think I made kind of I don't know if this is called a mistake, but I don't think I put an end date to the campaign either. So I don't know if I can actually close it. So it might just stay open forever, and everyone's just gonna be like, I'll get random DMs being like, Rain, you need to up the goal. Because you guys, yeah.
That'd be awesome.
That believe me, that is not a mistake. That's a good thing. This campaign should go forever. Honestly, just
if you
forever.
want, yeah, for more detail, actually, let me pull it up so I can tell you guys like how we're looking holistically. So for the larger audience, this campaign was to help Steven Spawn, the COO of Able Gamer. So he wanted to raise personally with his communities more than $1 million. So he's been doing a lot of work, and I think last I checked we were over 500,000.
Jesus. And that's
yeah,
just in the last few days, right?
yeah. So we started out at like just under 300,000, and now it's like insane. And I'm trying to figure out where I can see that at on Tiltify because there's a special way to see it, but I'm pretty bad at navigating through some of Tiltify's menus.
The technology that has been developed in the last even 20 years has just been amazing as far as allowing people with different abilities to game.
I don't know if y'all watch Extra Credits. They're a YouTube channel. They have a really good series on this sort of like video games for people who are with different problems, and video games as therapy and things like that. I'll find the link to that real quick.
Yeah, and someone with the name Busa number 1 just gave $30. So I guess if you want to shout out your corp, you can just donate with like $1, like $5 with your corp name, and I'll give it a shout out.
Basically, so it's like a teleprompter. Anything you put in there, Rain's gonna say on stream.
Oh no.
Female Jerry Lewis?
So we're supposed to let the awkward silence drive us upwards. So I think we just do that. Let's just have an awkward silence for a few until we hit 10,000.
How long is too long?
It's Because Games Matter is the series name for Extra Credits, by the way, for that. Because Games Matter.
All right, so the awkward silence
Mike.
is obviously it's over. Oh,
Okay,
$3 away. $3 away.
So Steven actually tweeted for us too. Here, I'll read his tweet to us. Like, he says, oh no, I can't. I scrolled. Oh no, I broke my computer. Okay. He says, hashtag Streamfleet, the community from Evenline, the nicest people who just want to help people with disabilities play. And then this was when, like, this was 2 hours ago, so we were $500 short.
We did it, Rain. You have
To
to
over
up the goal.
10,000?
You have to up the goal again.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Thank you,
Told you,
Zolv,
told
Omni,
you.
Impetus.
That is 1 week. The EVE Online community raising more than $10,000 for this fantastic cause.
Yeah.
It's going to be 11, over 11. Great job.
There's Delta Squad number 1, Honk from Pandemic Horde. Someone says 0100 op, but their name is, my name is Cornholio. I need TP for my internet censored.
Bunghole.
Alex Wild.
It's an older meme, but it checks out.
Let's see.
Alright.
He's the leader of AARP.
Someone just tipped $10 to the channel. I'll make sure that gets over there too.
Alex
You got-
just donated.
Got your 1 subscription from me already. So,
That's fine.
Did Alex, you donated again? That's the second time. Thank you.
So the total, whatchamacallit, towards that 1 million, we're at over 660,000.
Wow. That's
All right.
insane.
Oh, thank you, Blue Plexus. All right,
What
now
a
we're
refresh. It's just gonna keep on going up. It's just gonna keep on going up. That's all there is to it.
Borealis donated $68. Just one more, and it would have been nice.
Nobody could handle the silence.
We
Oh,
beat the
jeez.
goal, right? We're actually 200. We actually at $10,220 right now.
Well, we're actually $9,000 above the original goal. Rain, being as humble as Rain is, decided that she was going to set the goal at 1,000, not thinking that we would blow that out of the water. I told you, Rain. I told you, we got your back. We got your back.
Oh my
Can
gosh.
can we get some from like able gamers to like, I don't know, make a statement on like what they're going to use the money for? Maybe that'd be kind of cool.
I can,
Like,
yeah,
make a
if you
difference.
want, I can talk to Steve. I'll see if he can like say specifically like, so when I donate money, I always like knowing how much, like, right. So if we raise $11,000, how many individual people does that help? And so I can
Yeah.
ask him to share that so we can all like
Can we
figure
get
that out.
Steve on Trash Talk Tuesday? Actually.
Yes. Right now, immediately.
Right now?
Yes. No, not right now. It's fine.
Okay, I was gonna say.
We've left out one topic though that is iconic Trash Talk Tuesday because it is shitting on goons.
Chimney
And
Chaps in Space donated.
You
Thank
already did that I don't want to hear it.
Sandrin is muted, but he was supposed to be talking about the silver ticket. So does anybody else know about the Pappy version of the silver ticket and the
Billy
lucky
said
winner of that?
Well, Billy
He said
is
to
in
keep it
fact right
quiet.
here.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
All right.
I'm not sure what particular meme you're talking about, to be honest.
Sandrin, what do you want to say on Trash Talk Tuesday about the silver ticket?
It's not there.
We're on your segment now. I'm trying to been delaying for you. Hold on. I never interrupted Sandrin's fleet.
I'm here. I've returned.
Welcome back.
I've been requested to talk about the silver ticket, I believe.
Yeah. Tell me
believe
what
if,
we should know about it.
I believe if you want to safely get yourself out of the shit show that is Goonswarm Federation or any of its allies, you can still apply to any of the Pappy alliances. We're all recruiting. We're all happy to take members. We'll allow you to easily get your assets out. And as long as you hang around, you can keep your assets. You can not feed. You can have some fun on our fleet. You can kill some Keepstars. It's a good time. But we're not going to extort you like goons. You can just you can just join our alliances. Just be a functioning member of society. It's a good time.
And Diva is recruiting.
I believe one of our most recent defectors owns a Komodo and has decided to leave Goonswarm Federation. So,
Or maybe it's using you to get their
if you do not wish to be the first, a man with a Komodo has recently left. If you want to save your faction assets, you too can leave.
Don,
What
why
about the
would
dude
people?
who ejected from a super carrier today? Didn't he join Horde?
Maybe the same man.
So Don, why would people need to get their assets out if goons were winning?
I don't think Don's ever said that goons are winning.
I'm the most realist / pessimist in at least the group that I hang out with.
Oh, wait a second.
That's a very big doubt.
I'd
You
say
wanna
we're
talk about
fucking winning.
positivity? There you
I'd say
go.
we're winning, considering the entire fucking game decided that they were going to fucking declare war against us, right? And
you live
you know
in one
what?
constellation and won't be living in that constellation for very
Yeah,
long.
no. Just hang on for a second. It's a lot closer than you'd think, right?
What? No, it's not.
Well, yeah, because
You've had one
it was
big
like
win,
one
and that's 'cause
DQ
the
by
servers ate
Christmas.
shit.
Like you guys, the war was going to be
meant
over.
No one thought we were gonna get one DQ by Christmas. That was not a that was a meme. It was a rhyming sentence that was funny to say.
You sound like a funny guy.
I thought we'd be in
anyways,
one
I am
DQ
a
by
funny guy.
spring.
Thank you.
1DQ and Christmas don't rhyme though.
And then there was all those Keepstars. Remember, you were trying to anchor, and we just said, "Fuck that."
And we managed to anchor.
We'll throw trillions of
time's
ravens at it, and fucking have
And then we
fun
dropped the
time
one
doing
in
so.
T5Z uncontested,
and
then
then
QY1, then the ones in period basis. All those ones that you just conveniently didn't contest.
So once you get one
you
down,
can't
it goes
contest
about
them
the
all, right?
You
There's
don't
only
contest the ones you
You
lose.
can contest some of them.
Shut up, Gertrude.
At least
we'll contest the ones we want to contest. How's that? And then you guys can
I mean, you
fucking
didn't
shoot
even-
empty Keepstars until you're blue in the fucking
They're
balls.
not empty though, because you can sit there and watch people extracting their assets up until the minute the Keepstar dies, or they can log their assets in a minute after the Keepstar dies, like in M2, and lose the Nix, or
Whatever.
They can lose the
We're not
Ragnarok like in
defending them.
F2.
How's that? Right? So you're not getting good fights or GGs or whatever you
We
could
don't want
say.
good fights. We want you to get the fuck out of Delph.
Well, we ain't going, so you have to fucking make us.
We are. That's not
Well,
hard.
bring it.
So dozens. I want to say at least at least a dozen, if not dozens, of structures in Delve a day. I'm fairly confident in saying that. 2 to 3. We were on.
I would
pace
say
to
that
kill-
a dozen is a pretty average day. Yeah, that's the pretty. Because usually there's between 3 and 6, like, what would you say, large structures, and
I mean, recently
and
we've
then
been getting
at least usually 6 mediums.
We've been getting like 2 or 3 Keepstars like the past few days, so I gotta count for some.
What a Komodo asset safety for? It doesn't really have a value, does it?
Probably like
I don't actually know the answer to that. If I had to guess,
Put yours in a structure. Put yours in a structure. We'll asset safety it and see what it comes out to. I would think since it doesn't actually have a value, it's going to be like what, 10,000, a couple thousand, maybe it's a couple billion.
So when you guys are on these structure shoots, how do you keep your fleet morale up? Like, do you tell stories, or is it just
I
like?
can't tell you about that. That's a real big secret.
Or-
And if we told you that, then
They'd have to kill
you guys might, yeah.
You may not realize this, but we don't have to keep morale up when you're killing Keepstars. Like,
Nah, I've killed a lot of structures in my day.
I
Not a lot
literally
of
just
structures.
post
but
Yeah,
a
the
few.
year and a
in the
half you
fleet
played, I
chat
bet that's
and
just
shit talk the fleet.
billions.
But
Generally, when you're like messing around killing Keepstars, nobody's upset or bored. Yeah, killing Raideroos gets boring after a while, but killing Keepstars, people will do that fucking. Wow, every time we have a Keepstar kill, apparently another 1,000 extra people show up for some reason that won't show up for the Fortizar kills. So that should
Like,
kind
the
of say it all,
ping-
isn't it?
The pings aren't exactly like deceiving anyone. We just say, "Hey, we're going to go kill a Keepstar. Join this fleet if you want to kill the Keepstar." And then magically, 256 people join the fleet. Like, it doesn't take much to convince them that they want to go.
And here's the other crazy thing: if they don't want to
Wait.
show up, they don't have to. It's not like we need the extra 250 people to kill a Keepstar.
We don't
Wait,
need
in test, you're only getting 256 people in your Keepstar kills?
Oh,
perfectly.
Not how much fits in a fleet.
No, so yeah, we have a full subcat fleet, then we do the Pappy symbol overflow fleet, then we have the capital fleet, we have possibly the overflow capital fleet, then we have the super capital fleet and the overflow super
Jeremy,
capital
you don't need to defend.
Sorry.
But yes, we fill out the fleets without, it's just, hey, we're going to go kill this Keepstar, join this fleet. If you're not already here, take this bridge and gate to here. Or get an Inceptor and just gate here. Like, if they want to be there, they can be there. If they don't want to be there, they don't have to be there. And to entertain people, I just I talk about weeb shit and everyone mutes comms. It's a good time.
So there's not a lot of chatter going on in your comms, is what you're saying?
There's a lot. I mean, it just depends on the fleet.
Silence. We're deadly focused on the target and the task at hand.
Every fleet is different, right? Some fleets people won't stop fucking shitting up comms, and other fleets there's not a. You could hear a pin drop, right? Depends who's in the fleet and what the conversation is about.
Yeah,
Some
like
people want it to be
and
quiet.
which comms
they
you're
go down
talking
to
about.
if they want it to be quiet, they go down to the quiet channel. If they want to chat with their friends, they go down to one of the sub channels. If they want to chat with the FC, they just sit in the main comms. And sometimes, we'll just shoot shit.
I remember one time
fleet comms. Sometimes you're on your own comms. Sometimes you got 3 conversations going on. There's all sorts of shit happening.
In test, I remember one time, it was pretty funny. We all ended up singing like Blood on the Risers in the main comms, like the first 2 verses of it. It was pretty fun.
I do have to ask now though, like how are goons getting people in their ADM fleets? Because from what I'm hearing, you're not. I believe 3 Jackdaws and 2 Procurers is what the goons have been calling an ADM fleet recently, which is not looking too hot.
I haven't been keeping track of that. I think we're doing all right.
I can guarantee you're fucking not. Cause...
Considering the 1DQ industrial ADM is not even at 1, and you've been trying for ADM fleets for like 2 weeks now.
Jeremy?
Yes, really?
Open the map. Tell me what the ADM is in 1DQ.
No, the industrial ADM, the industrial index in 1DQ.
Do they need to mine, or is it already ADM 6?
I mean, it's just they ping for mining fleets for a reason, right, Billy? It's just, I don't know. Listen, I find it funny that they ping for miners and they can't get the industry index up.
They're not trying to raise the index in 1DQ. It's already maxed.
If we wanted it raised, they would come to me and I would find a way to make it raised. But
I mean, I see these 5 pings a day asking for people to go to.
With that being said,
ADM
though,
fleets.
the fact that 8WA and YTechCo are only 4.1 is actually. I wasn't actually going to concede this, or I wasn't. I thought this was a bad line to go on, but this is actually interesting.
I should have been more. I should have rephrased it to the 1DQ constellation.
I mean,
Does not
if you guys are
industry
concerned with the
index
number,
1.
I mean, I could try to fix it. I've just.
I'm
been
sorry.
great.
YTAC-O has industry index 1.
Anyways, whatever. It doesn't take much ADM work to maintain an index.
Yeah, pretty sure we can figure it out.
But like for the last couple of weeks, 3 weeks, there's a lot of questions about how do you handle your fleet morale? How do you deal with your fleet morale? Which only and it's actually increasing in volume and frequency, which tells me that the other side is really struggling with this because they want to make it an issue because it is already their issue, and even at the end of the day, they're possibly looking for what could we do. That's what that tells me.
Not be toxic.
Pretty sure we have FCs that are well versed at keeping morale up.
Well, how many of your veteran FCs still play though? Right?
Do you have FCs even?
I see.
They got Danger Dave. They got Tom Flood. They like feeding occasionally.
Dave and Tom have actually come quite a ways out of this war. I've been pretty surprised.
I'm just taking the piss out of them because the last UXO IHub timer was.
Yeah, what happened with that? Because
They warped to us at 0 and ate shit. It was hilarious.
They were outnumbered basically 2-1 to begin with. Not 2-1, but like 1.8 to 1 or something, right? They fleet warped to the gate at 0 as their Serb fleet was getting, like, the UXO Serb guys was jumping through the gate with the entirety of, I think it was Test or Horde, somebody was chasing them. So it was like a 200 versus 50 to start. They warped to the gate when it's now a 500 versus 50 because there's full Horde, full Test fleet there. So it's 500 versus 50, then it becomes 500 versus 300, but they do a sphere fleet warp with a 30-kilometer spread, I think. So their fleet gets, like, ringed, I guess you would say. So, like, it gets pulled in different ways by the bubble on grid. So it's like half the fleet's at 60, half's at 30, and half's at 0 to start the fight. And obviously they their anchors all get tackled, and they choose to basically just sit there and trade for 10 minutes. And then, you know, people start dropping caps because they're like, oh, this is great. And then, you know, they align out and warp away. But, you know, 10 minutes of trading were not good, you know, starting outnumbered basically 2-1. And, you know, with a really messed up kind of initial warp.
How are you finding the mechanics and the tactics of those formation warps?
So far they're fine. They're pretty low impact right now, just because there's not a whole lot going on besides, you know, Hack Fleet chasing Hack Fleet, and it's very much an N+1 kind of situation. But as we move into the more interesting stuff with as we move into the more interesting stuff with battleships and 1-Q, etc., I think they'll play a bigger role for sure.
My favorite part is watching you guys bring out tornadoes. Now that we actually have a tornado wing that can, like, competently shoot things, and then you try.
Well, hold on.
Shut the fuck up, Jeremy. They kicked your ass like 6 times. I don't want to hear it.
Okay, yeah, I'm here to stand up and defend myself.
I don't believe you at all.
You know how many tornadoes I have lost in total over, like, the various fleets
20.
I have done? No, I've done 7, including the time I warped into the Keepstar and you all PDS'd more fighters than my entire fleet was worth, which is hilariously funny to me.
But have you actually had success with your tornadoes of actually killing a significant amount of things?
I haven't had the opportunity to. Like, every time.
No, I
mean,
okay,
I haven't had the.
Who cares?
Can I just ask, like, what do you consider a significant amount of things? Because we've had
the
like
tornado
trillions of ISK that's been lost in this fight.
We've
So I mean, I mean in general. Hey, come on, Don. It's me. I'm not Jeremy. Don't be that way.
You're coming at me hard, yeah.
I'm not coming at you in any way, shape, or form. I'm just asking you what you deem significant, because we've had hundreds of billions and trillions lost in this whole war. And, like, if we're gonna talk about a 70 million-isk battle cruiser fight, I don't know if that's significant in any way.
It'll be relative. Let's go with the relative. So recently, one of our really nice nights, Delta in their tornadoes killed 50 hacks alone.
Yes, and I was not there. And do you know what I said on comms to them? Is that someone should bring tornado. I was in tornadoes. It was at the time I lost like 3, and I was like, whatever. Like,
Don, can you link this battle report?
It's the one where your fax died on the iHub for the PS4 tech one.
Oh, so they didn't do it alone. They did it with the assistance of 300 other
like
hacks.
200 fucking mutants.
Okay, so alone is perhaps a little bit of
the kills that they killed were just them shooting them while we were murdering each other. You guys had
but it, like, saying you did it alone implies like there was nobody else there, and like.
Well, as I said, it's relative. So they had like 20 people in their fleet. They're shooting the hacks. They're getting chased around by harpies and shit. You guys have a capital on the field to rep people. We just have subcaps, and that's it. And we still came out they came out with 50 kills on their own. They've also multiple times run brave fleets and test fleets off of
because do you know why, Don?
On grid.
Because you have like 10,000 pings on every iHub grid, right? Those iHub grids you've had in Delve for 5 years, like you have all the pings on.
No, every single one of those was made in the last 2 weeks. I don't want to hear it.
So
we didn't start using tornadoes till like a month and a half, 2 months ago.
No, so you're telling me that all these times you've been in Delve and like someone's trying to troll toast you, haven't just like accumulated
No one's
pins
ever
on all
tried to
these you're in.
troll those Delve before for 4.5 years. I should know. I'm in charge. Like I was part of and in charge of protecting Delve from the daily bullshit. No one ever brought an Entosis link to Delve.
Or an iHub, like someone just goes to the iHub and like
Not
you
a
have to
single
fight there
fucking time.
because it
3.5 years.
no. Okay,
At least not
I
with
really struggle to believe that.
no one's ever tried to toast anything in Delve. Maybe
So-
fringes of Quirius, maybe, but even then, we had deals with everybody in Quirius that if you don't shoot our shit, we'll let you live in our building.
So
and
the point still stands, right? Especially on the iHubs where you're going offensively or defensively that you've had for a very long time, you probably have some sort of pins or tackle range, or right, that iHub is going to come out and you're going to bring tornadoes or whatever, right? You have the ability to go into stage all the stuff you need before the fight, which is a big thing, which we don't always have the luxury of doing, right?
I'm telling you, like they don't get a ton of time to prepare. We don't know every single iHub we're gonna go for.
Oh, yes, you do. You get a timer for every one of them because they're all offensive time. Because the
Actually, aren't
second
they all
iHub,
your iHubs now? So we don't
Well,
get
no.
timer.
When you're attacking an iHub, you are the attacker, right?
Yes.
Guaranteed that we don't have a plan on anything we do.
Regardless, I don't think either point is particularly good. Like the tornadoes that you guys have been doing have been pretty good. Like when they're paired with another fleet to draw attention and they get to sit there unmolested, they're going to do damage. That's what always happens with tornadoes. That's why Farah and Goodsax, who Legacy is quite familiar with when it comes to tornadoes, do so well. Tornadoes as a doctrine are just very strong when they're able to sit there and shoot you because large artery or baller.
We've used them without a support fleet to distract them, and we still kicked ass.
Can you show me an example of where you use them without a support fleet to?
He's PTAC Z on an iHub. We were fighting an Eagle fleet, and they had about 40 different scepters on grid, all trying to chase us down in different spots. And they even got a bubble on us, and yet we were still able to boosh and jump away and leave, losing, I think, like a Praxis and 2, maybe 3 tornadoes total after killing Legion, a Loki, and a couple of Eagles.
I mean this in the nicest way, but you will beat up on people who aren't familiar with tornadoes if they're not ready for it. Like it's a learning lesson for most FCs in the South at some point or another, right? If Delta did a good job, like I'm not trying to take any of that away from them, right? Like power to them, but it is what it is.
I keep telling, like, if you guys had just let us finish the hack off, you would have saved so much money. They lost more than what that iHub was worth.
It's like it was a sub 10 bill fight, I think.
Sometimes keeping the iHub is much more important than whatever the.
But once again, when we're working at such disadvantages and we're still able to put out results. Okay, yeah, we're not doing 1,000-man fleets all the fucking time, but we are still able to pull out results. And you guys trying to look down or diminish any of those results is ridiculous.
I mean, I'll do it all day because how has it affected the war in any significant way? Like you might have delayed an iHub being taken by like 10 minutes or something. Like good job on you.
Well, the fight in which Delta participated in there, the one in whatever system was it 39P? I think it was. Invariably ended up creating the momentum, which lost us the PS9 iHub, which means that Keepstars is going to be saved for another 2 weeks or 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree with you. But was it the same? Are you in? What are you in, Don? Are you in the same one that did the PSN iHub?
I was there. Did I die that night? No, I didn't die that night because you guys weren't focusing logic, so I got to do my thing. But I was in logic, keeping the chickens corralled. What's really funny is during that entire fight, the hacker was still hacking and no one targeted him. So he got the hack finished, and that's why we won.
Yeah, there were definitely some errors made throughout that fight. There's no doubt about that. My poor facts.
You guys were throwing ECM drones on him, and I was just taking my Warrior 2s and killing every drone I could find on field. Because at some point you guys were just alphaing each other, so it's kind of like, well, we're just kind of here. We're not doing anything. But it was fun.
I think that's the main thing too, right? Like if I stop having fun playing this game, I will not play this game.
Greg, that's their goal. They don't want it to be fun.
But I have fun pretty much no matter what. So as long as I get to shoot somebody in the face.
I think assumptions about what we want for you guys to do or not do is perhaps a continuous amount of statements that are made in error. We have no desire to see almost anyone stop playing this game. Like,
well,
it's,
you're not winning on that front if that's the case, because both sides lose people because they don't like this war and they fucking hate it, or they don't like how Eve is in general and have left. Both sides.
Yes, of course, both sides do.
I will say though, I think a lot of people are just playing the game because of the war, and that once it's over, we're going to see a pretty steep drop off in the players.
Yeah,
more so.
Because a lot of people came back at least for Goonswarm just to help with the war, because they're not interested in playing the game long term before the war. Like they already quit before the war, and maybe a percentage will stay because like, oh, Eve's better than I remember it. But a ton of them are also like, listen, I'm just here for the war. I'm here to help, and then once we're done with everything, I'm gonna either leave or take a long break. So I'm just saying this is not good for the game, no matter how much you guys think it is.
What's not good for the game? Sorry.
Driving people down into this position on both sides.
I mean, what was
no? So sorry. Like you have to explain. What do you mean it's not good for? What's not good for the game?
So there are some people on both sides that don't like war or are so burnt out from war. Like I'll be honest, both sides. I've seen on both sides, but I'm going to go off the. I've talked with a couple people who have either decided that they're going to go to a different group for a while, or they're just moved to high sec and they're never coming back. Ever.
It really depends on how you want to define good for the game, right? If you create a situation where there's more stability and there's a reduction in the influence of Imperium in this case, and you spread them in different places, then you create a massive change in the game, which is usually actually quite good for this game. You create maybe a more stable playing base for more people to come in and try the game and feel like they can stay without having to deal with certain factions. There will be always some craziness in the game, but it really depends on what you define as good for the game.
And how many people have stayed or joined the game because of the war versus how many have just stopped playing the game because of the war is another calculation, right? You can't just say people are leaving because of the war. People are also coming and joining the game and resubbing to the game, right?
Here's a shitty question. What does Eve look like in 2026? In 5 years' time, what does Eve look like?
I don't know. I don't think any of us can answer that question. With how CCP has been acting with scarcity and stuff like that, I mean, I really don't know how it would look like in 2026.
How would you like it to look?
Fun with the ore back.
I think the goal is for Eve to always have a vibrant nullsec environment, because that's mostly what we're talking about right now, right? With a variety of players coming in and out, with some organizations and empires being stronger than others, but eventually falling to other organizations over time. No group truly controlling all of the landscape, even if they're willing to try. Just a healthy ecosystem of players and player organizations, I think.
We can agree that the war was definitely good for CCP.
Oh, of course. I don't think anybody disagrees with that.
Now, do you see any avenue for a peaceful resolution to the war?
I don't think there's any way that the Imperium can ever kind of ask for surrender terms, right? I don't think that.
Oh no, I was thinking the other way around.
So that's going a mile away.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I made that offer to a certain Imperium leader a while ago, and they did that kind of thing in a very what would you say, kind of chipper way, and I was not trying to be malicious or mean when I did it, right? And like the reality is everybody knows the score, right? And if you want to play that game and you want to be but what about you surrendering to us, then you're fine to do so. But it's important to remember that like we can always have that chat if you really want to have that chat. But I don't think Imperium can accept the loss of face more than anything. The organization is just so tightly built on its reputation, and I just don't see it happening. Even if that would have been, the best kind of thing for a variety of reasons.
Oh, well. Fun times, huh? About
Hell yeah.
wars, rendering. Been good having you on, Greg. Glad you decided to show up. That was good of you. Thanks for coming. Everybody
Well,
else has been.
thanks for having me, Redline. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And everybody else that's here, we appreciate you being on. It's about time to wrap this up, though. So I think maybe we can do final thoughts. If you guys want to do final thoughts, or I can just send everybody to somebody else. It's been a minute since we've done final thoughts, though. What do you think?
I think Billy should go first.
Billy's just gonna leave if we say go first. Really, that's all. That's gonna
So
happen.
what I would say as a final thought is be the change you want to see. If you want to see positive change, be that change. Take the lead, take the initiative, go out there, do the hard work, and lead others to make that positive change in their lives.
God, I wish he would have just left. What a sis.
I wish I was a quarter.
That applies to both sides.
I have tears.
I'm just
Of course, it applies to both sides.
Kidding, Billy.
There's people on both sides of the aisle in this war. Great people that put in hard work, people that deserve every bit of respect that they've earned with this war. And no matter what happens in the course of this war, nothing's going to take that away from them. And they should be proud of the time and energy and commitment they put into this war. And it's just I'm really happy that regardless of how it all ends, everybody willing to kind of come on this ride with us.
And what a wild and strange journey it's been from the deepest depths of M2 to the heights of towers and 1DQ. All right. Everybody else have final thoughts? We'll let Billy go first. So we want to go upside down?
Sure. I think you should go next, Redline.
I go last. All right, Rain, how about you? Give us your final thoughts.
Yeah, shout out to everyone who's donated. I saw Borealis donate again. I think Chimney Chaps in space as well. I appreciate all of the support from everyone here. It means a lot to me, especially with some of the stuff, the support just from the community and from the folks in this room. So I greatly appreciate. That's my shout out.
And Loki?
Oh my god, I came back just in time.
Did, buddy.
Shout out to my corporation, Banana Republic. We are recruiting.
Everyone take their shot now.
Bingo. All right, how about you, Greg?
I'd just like to again echo thanks for having me on, and I really do appreciate that. And I found out tonight that you guys aren't really quite as much of dicks as I thought you were going to be, but close.
Imagine our surprise. All right, Don, how about you?
I want to shout out to Rain for being a cool person, and Imperium is not as toxic as people want. It's as toxic as you make it to be.
Okay. Jeremy?
I mean, come to my fleets if you're in test. I love all of you. Diva's recruiting. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. And we're not toxic at all. No one could ever accuse me of being toxic ever in this entire history of the game.
Lies.
Never been toxic once.
All right, and Atticus?
Alright, I got here late. I have no idea what the fuck happened in the show, but Jeremy's wrong. Some of us are toxic. I'm pretty toxic. Fuck you, Jeremy.
I love you, Atticus.
And yeah.
Atticus did a really good warping the other day on some tornadoes, and then the entire tackle fleet, all like 15 of them tackled the same tornado.
Honestly, dude, I was out of my mind. I just clicked B and then just fell asleep on my keyboard.
I know.
I was not
Fine to see.
in my right mind.
All right, how about Jose? What you got for us, Jose? Mr. Quiet over there.
Oh, sorry. I just want to say a big shout out to my fellow Logi pilots in Horde. We've been putting the work in. We've had to be innovative, and Goons have really been kept keeping us on our toes for the whole war, trying to counter the interesting things that they like to throw at us. And I just want to say that our commitment to keeping the beans alive is only matched by our masochism.
Nice. Very nice. All right, Gregorin, how about you?
May God have mercy on Elise Randolph.
Because you will
We can
not.
talk about that.
Yeah, we didn't. It's he wasn't here. I was gonna have him on a different thing, but congratulations,
Crossing the red line.
Elise. No, not crossing the red line. That's reserved for assholes. But yeah, congrats to Elise. Super congrats.
What
All
happened
right.
to Elise?
He's
That's what I call that.
CCP dev now.
CCP Swift.
He's now CCP Swift.
Don't forget the little guys.
Swift.
I can tell you, I was a little bit confused when I saw him at the first CSM meeting. I'm like, "The fuck are you doing here?" He's like, "Hee," you know.
I work here now.
All right, Rundle, how about you?
Yeah, shout out to my Alliance ARP and other fellow Legacy folk. Some big changes coming up for us. A lot of fun, a lot of neat things in store for us over the next little while. Should be a lot of fun. Keep doing the hard work and delve. And shout out again to Rain and you Redline for the donations and the pushing the show, pushing the charity on the show, and great work to the Eve community for now getting it over 11K onwards and upwards. So. And just
11.
we can. Well,
It's over 11 now.
CCP is
okay,
going to
okay.
donate 1,000, right? So it's
I mean,
almost guaranteed to be over
we're
11,
only
right?
750 away from being at 11 right now. I mean, there's still 160
It could be
some people
12.
watching.
Yeah,
If
come on.
that's like $4
It's
a
probably
person,
like 12. Yeah, it'll be
cup of
12K,
coffee,
right?
cup of coffee, right?
Exactly. And
One of those
just
things.
the final thought to bring all this together for me tonight is, the world's changing and gaming changes along with the world at a slower pace. We can do better, Eve, and we can still have all the fun without the assholery on the back end.
Very nice. Cool. Very cool. Like, unless you're Thrawn Lannister, then you can't really.
Yeah, screw that guy.
Some people can't be helped.
If anyone has a copy of the Empires of Eve online they want to sell me, by the way, I've been looking for one for like a year.
Why don't you just go on the Kickstarter and buy it directly?
Why don't you just buy Kindle version?
You should rewrite the book, Jeremy.
I want the physical book, right? But
You can buy the physical book.
Just
it's
write
not on
the
the
book.
website. It's out of stock on the website.
So I noticed that Elise is in the Trash Talk Discord, but I don't notice that Elise has picked a role yet. What role do I give Elise?
Toxic.
On the CCP role.
You can't come on our show unless
That's
you're
not
invited.
a fancy. That's not a fancy color. I want to do Elite Small Ganger.
I want purple.
You want purple? I'll give you purple right now.
Yeah.
It'll
That'd be
disconnect
nice.
you. It'll disconnect you from literally everything ever. Anyways, this has been Trash Talk Tuesday, and I've been Redline. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna roll some credits, and remember that we have Lasers and Lace on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you're here for that. Should be a good show. And then also on Sunday, we have Crossing the Red Line with me and Cable. So make sure that you watch that at 800 if you want to. If you don't, it's fine. Probably not going to last very long. I'm trash. Everything is trash. So I'm going to play a song, and then we should be able to roll out. So we're going to do